Hello, everybody. Oh, I'm scared Jackson again. I'm so sorry.
Wow.
But hello.
Again.
Thank you for joining us. Welcome. This is the Stream of Chaos. Chaosium's home for some lovely Call of Cthulhu role-playing on this wonderful old Twitch thing that we're here on. Thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you being here. We really appreciate everyone around this table being here. Who are they? Let's talk to them all again. To my right.
Hey, I'm Jackson. I'm playing Josef Fischer, also known as Der Holzbeinheld, the wooden leg hero, the vigilante in the dark on the streets of Berlin.
You said this so naturally.
Thank you.
Wow,
I'm
it's
impressed.
like
I'm
a
very
fluent
impressed, yes.
Speaker of German.
When we last left, he was getting steadily drunker. Cabaret, no, not a cabaret bar, in a bar with
An
these-
establishment.
an establishment with these terrible, god-defying pneumatic tube waiters.
Yes, exactly. Well, you know, Joseph has some strong opinions on pneumatic tubes, based on seeing messages delivered during the First World War.
That's
and
it.
Deaths
'Cause
being caused.
Young men would go to their deaths trying to deliver a message from trench to trench, and yet here in this bar, you can't cross the other side of the room to put your order in. You have to put it into a goddamn soulless tube.
You're right. You know, actually, during the First World War, some people had the job of, during shellings, when communication lines were blown apart, they would have to run out into the shell fields and reconnect the cables. And they wouldn't run back because it was suicide to run through, so they would just curl up around and basically be like, well, I'm here, and if I die, I die. Anyway, on that lovely note,
Jesus.
to my left, up here.
Okay.
Fantastic.
I don't know. Sure. Hey everyone, my name is Rachel, I guess. I play Percy Holmgren, who is not really up too much right now. He is a little bit homeless, but he also spent an evening in this said establishment being really excited by all the pneumatic tubes that were used to send letters and various gifts to the different tables. And I think the most recent one we received was a bit creepy and awful.
Yeah, it was a little bit, wasn't it? It was a small doll. We'll get into the details of the scenario later. First of all, over to my right, over here, we also have...
Yeah, g'day, I'm Dave. I play Klaus Landsrider, and most recently I have chased what appears to be a woman crafted entirely from porcelain, filled with some horrible content, who has delivered us a warning. Or a suggestion. She said Walter Andre is a good man to know.
She did.
And then she demanded I release her so that she may flee.
Yes, she said exactly that. So you've had an interesting evening, to say the least.
Yep.
Now, for those of you who are just joining us, let me go through the story a little bit and just tell you what we're doing. We're playing a game of Call of Cthulhu, lovely horror and eldritch investigation role-playing game. Here's what's happened in the most recent session. So, after reawakening from their sojourn in Dream Berlin, our investigators pieced together their memories and their lives over the last 2 years. After a visit to a local hospital to see Irma and a soldier Klaus freed from the Dreamlands, the team visited a local occult bookstore run by a man named Gregor, who was the author of several pamphlets that had been found in the apartment of Anita Berber and her husband, Henri Chatin-Hoffman. After being banished from the store after a slight altercation with the owner, the team travelled to a local bar where they witnessed an eccentric lecture by Alban Grau, who appeared to have been dreadfully affected by some kind of mental trauma. Joseph managed to isolate the source of a strange series of calls that had been hounding the investigators, and invited the voice on the other end of the phone to meet them at the bar. In the early hours of the morning, a strange woman appeared and delivered a tiny doll with a marking in Hebrew on its neck. Klaus gave chase to the woman through the streets and eventually caught her at the riverbank, only to find that her skin appeared to be made of porcelain. The woman begged to be let go, and Klaus allowed her to run away. Through the streets of Berlin, a wicked wind begins to blow. Doom is coming to the city, and what's this? Some extra text has been added to the document that I'm reading on. It seems to say, I smell funny, and, well, I can absolutely confirm that. If you would like to see... If you would like to see the document for yourself, you can...
For real.
I don't know, you guys don't love me in on this. I didn't do anything.
You can see this document for yourself, and you can read through some of our notes, and you can get involved in the investigation as we dive back in. Will the crew be able to save the city or not? We'll soon see.
Before we start,
Yes.
we would like to briefly thank Reaper for subbing again, and now has a 3-month streak.
Oh my god, wonderful!
He,
I-
no, we can't see the badge.
That is incredibly
But
cool. You
thank
should
you.
should have a new badge soon, but thank you so much, Reaper.
You did it.
As always, your support is incredibly appreciated. And one of the patrons in the bar, probably the one who got hit in the back of the head by the pneumatic something from it 5
Oh
from
no,
the
it's
pneumatic
Mr.
tube.
Reaper
incredible.
underscore PTP.
Heals over and dies.
What a weird last name.
Is the last name of the protagonist in the Hitman series. Tobias Reaper. Is
Oh
his
my
name.
god,
man,
really?
Well, that's what he goes by.
That is awful.
Codename 47, I think. I don't think he has a legal name because I think he's a clone of some
Reaper.
sort. But he
Edgelord.
introduces himself
Hell yeah.
as Tobias Reaper, but it's spelled with an I, so it's okay.
I kill people. I'm gonna quickly check the alert box. You continue. Sorry.
Tobias is
Thank
such
you
a
very
weak
much.
first name to combo
Tobias.
with Reaper.
Well, what is it? I always
Tobias is
found
a normal name.
Sylvester Stallone's name is Sylvester. That
Yeah.
always weirded me out.
Yeah.
Anyway, so continuing on. It was the middle of the night, and most of you were exceedingly drunk after a long evening of having to deal with all of the weird stuff that was happening in the bar after watching that sort of weird lecture. Particularly, Joseph, you were very drunk. You hadn't been drinking, though, Percy, and
I could handle my alcohol.
you can handle your
All
alcohol
right.
pretty well. You're an athlete. You got a lot of muscle on you. You're
I
doing
almost
all
went to the
right.
Olympics.
Yes.
Really?
Mentioned
You never
several
told
times.
us that.
You owe me money. Those are my
So-
2 notes.
So after returning from... So you basically pull yourself out of the river, you let this woman go, she goes sprinting off in the distance, and you find yourself rapidly sort of standing, and your clothes are soaked, you're completely disheveled, your finely tailored look is completely thrown to the wind, and it is freezing.
Yeah,
This
shit.
icy wind is just completely hitting you, and it is blustering as you mount the steps and get up to the banks of the river and sort of look around the walkways. You're almost bowled over, actually, just by the fierceness of this wind. You can see trees beginning to sway, shutters that have not been pinned shut are flinging wildly in the wind. It's not a good look for the place overall.
Can I make a mental note of the direction that the woman's ran off, and could I make a navigation roll to be like, she's headed for the Grand Chapel or anything?
Absolutely, you can absolutely do that. Make said roll.
Navigation.
Yes, that will absolutely be a navigation roll.
Okay.
Nice.
I have no navigation skill though. So
Oh, that sucks. Wow,
12 points.
you need to
12
get
points
better
along.
at reading maps.
Run out of luck.
I'll tell you what. You basically, to a certain extent, it is fairly obvious where she is going.
East or whatever.
Well, you would know to the east of where you are now. You know, you're sort of pretty close to the entertainment district, and you know that this woman was calling you from what was essentially a phone sex hotline.
And we know which one, right? Because you.
Oh, that's true.
Yes,
I know the phone
and
number.
she does appear to be running towards the red light district.
Okay. All right. Oh, that's stuff. Thank you, James.
No worries. So you could sort of probably piece that together.
Pull my collar up and I head back to the bar.
Yeah. All right.
Against the wind.
All right. So you're actually like kind of stumbling at this point. And when you get back to the bar, you can see your car is in the process of doing like a large U-turn. And seeing you approach, your driver gets out hurriedly and like puts his collar up and staggers towards you and says, "Sorry, I went out to try and find you and make sure you were okay. But the car appears to have taken some damage."
It's no mind. Make sure you get inside. You don't get hurt as well.
Okay. When you glance back at the car and you can see, apart from a couple of dents, the windshield has like a spiderweb crack across it.
It's only money.
It's only money, and this is an open top car as well, so you would be able to
so much.
peek out. Excellent. So you head back down inside. Now, the two of you have been alone with this doll for quite some time. So we're going to jump back a couple of seconds. You
We
broke it
snapped it
open.
in half.
A small doll.
You snapped it in half. I watched.
Why did I
You got,
snap it
you
in
got
half?
burns.
Because I
on
was
it.
like, hey, you
Whatever.
should snap it in half.
See if there's
that'd
anything
be-
inside it. You broke it now. So it was a small doll. It had a small marking in Hebrew under where the doll's hair
Did
was.
we write that?
Yeah, I think we mentioned that we drew it.
Yes, you made a sketch of the symbol, and
I did not.
well, your characters did.
Right.
I'm not actually going to show you the symbol.
Right.
But
You bastard.
Like, so it's
Check
it doesn't look. I mean, I don't think either of us speak any or read any Hebrew. It doesn't look particularly significant?
It is nothing that the two of you would recognize.
Yeah,
If either of you
okay.
speak Hebrew, you could make a guess at it. Now,
French.
you're not amazing. You're not a native German speaker. Your character's from Sweden, but you're a native German speaker, and you would know that Yiddish is very similar to German. So there is a possibility that if you heard this word or letter or something said out loud, you could have it would be possible that you could understand what it meant, but you're not entirely sure.
Okay. And where did we cut? Did you burn your hand?
Yeah, so
I
you
think I tried to twist the neck off.
Yeah.
Yeah, you broke it open. This goop that smelt like sort of horrible, milky, sulfury stuff and looked like pus. Burnt your hand, and it didn't really burn it, but it raised welts. More like being exposed to an acid or something.
Is the bar still open? Is there still someone there?
Oh yeah, there are people everywhere.
I'm gonna.
It's like 2 in the morning.
I believe
but people
that
don't want to go home.
someone came over to you and said, you know, how did you get that, and offered to comp your meal as kind of like a.
Oh no!
yeah.
I was gonna get some ice.
Oh, you can make those arrangements. Do you want to make a first aid check just in general?
Yeah, I will just quickly check. No.
That's what I forgot to do. Forgot to get some dice.
No, I fail.
May
I
I?
cannot help.
May I make a first aid check on myself?
I don't know how to do like burn stuff. I can
Yeah.
handle scrapes, but
May I be so bold?
Absolutely. You can make a. This will functionally be you assisting the roll, but make a first aid check. Yes, go ahead.
No. Almost, but no.
what's your first aid?
40.
Oh no, it's
I
not
don't
worth
want to
it.
burn
You're
6
not.
points of luck
It's
on a
not
minor
like down to the
wound.
bone or anything. It just
That's
sucks
right.
and hurts.
Yeah.
What?
And once again, your skin isn't burnt here; it's raised blisters. It's like you're having an acute allergic reaction. I realise is probably the best.
Oh, so
descriptor
it's
of it.
not
Yeah. The skin
like
is not destroyed,
acidic.
but yeah. Acid was. I was trying to think of the right way to describe it. No, your skin is reacting to this. You've raised welts. Yeah, you haven't. There's no. You have not been lacerated. as
Very good.
such.
Ice will still probably
in a lifelong past, Percy was a chemist.
Yes.
Can I like get an idea of what kind of liquid it might be? Like it's clearly not milk. Like it wouldn't be.
Let's write that down.
Well,
It's
make
not
a
a
luck
list of
check
what it
in
is.
case you have an anaphylactic reaction to milk. No. Absolutely. You can
Coffee.
make that chemistry test. Now, you don't really have equipment with you. So at this stage, the test is going to be hard, but I will still give you some basic information, just because you are a trained chemist and you would have at least some knowledge of
I'm
what's
not
going on.
that
What's
good.
your chemistry?
My chemistry is 30. I don't know why.
I think it's
no,
just
fine,
enough
that's
so you
like
could
you.
develop your photographs.
Yeah.
Wasn't that it?
Oh, I studied
Oh,
chemistry.
Yeah, well, and also,
And I suck at chemistry.
within the spheres of the expected skill brackets of how Cthulhu works, between 30 and 70 is considered the professional range. So you're at the lower end of.
So I passed, you know.
Yeah,
P's
degree.
get
That's
degrees
the one.
in Stockholm specifically.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So you've begun to pour water and sort of like clean up and fix your injury. You have you sort of like looked and you're not touching it. You sort of pick up a napkin and dab at it, and it's sort of gluey. As you kind of pick it up, it's quite viscous. Looks almost like this consistency of mucus, possibly.
Can I make a simple assessment? Does it look like organic? Like it could be
Specifically
like
making
from
that
banana. Like you know what I mean?
specifically making that guess. Yes, it looks somewhat organic. You would not be surprised to have, this looks like something. The consistency and the even vaguely the smell is something that suggests that it's animal-esque in origin. But you are able to tell that it is. There is no. This is not a substance that you would encounter anywhere. That
Right,
you've
it's
seen.
like weird.
You know, it is. Yeah, it's a weird substance. It's
Weird. Wow, that's an unlikely outcome. A weird substance.
a weird substance, but you are able to, with that guess and with your trained skill in chemistry, you are able to determine that yes, it does come from a body or bodies, some kind of description.
Do you have medicine?
No, it's worse. It's 15.
Yeah.
I've got one.
You have some medicine.
I have
man.
one in medicine.
You have one medicine?
Well,
I have one medicine.
if you roll
Sam,
for
there's a
one,
one on the dice.
I will remind you that you have a 4% chance to fumble. And a 1% chance of success.
5%.
Oh yeah, 5% chance of
Never tell me the odds.
fun.
No, I won't.
Okay.
That sounds terrible.
You are
Probably.
aware
I
that
hate that. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, you are 5 times more likely to fumble than succeed on a random attempt.
that's amazing.
Makes sense.
Yeah, well, be careful what you roll. Continuing on. You come down the stairs with your driver, and the two of you head towards the table now. You're all getting quite tired, even if you're not drunk.
Yeah, it's like 2 in the morning.
And the revelry is sort of turning towards that darker side of the evening where everyone is getting a little bit loud. You try to sort of
Time to go.
yeah, you start to try and have a conversation, and
Last
someone
call.
comes over to the table and sits down and begins to kind of light a cigarette and try to be like, yeah, I'm going to talk to these people, not realizing you have to sort of your driver
Someone
actually
tries to
says,
share a
let me
joke.
come and have a drink
Yeah.
with you, sort of thing.
Get out of here. All right. I come back and she says, "Pussy crap on the table, right?"
Hello.
Did you catch her?
I did. For a time, she was very earnest to be let go. But yes, I caught her.
Wait, you let her go?
She was concerned. I think she was being chased or something by someone who wasn't me. I couldn't in good conscience keep her from her flight, but she delivered a message. She said, Walter Andre is a good man to know and to look in the Hudenstav.
Walter.
Is that right?
Yes, that
Walter
is correct.
Andre.
I don't know either of
Do you
these.
know-
I don't know these
no,
people
no.
or the person, I don't think. Do I know either of those? Credit rating check. Does that apply?
Yeah, it'd be a hard credit rating check.
Can I also have a go?
Yes, you can.
Oh, shit, bro.
Not if my credit rating is out of 50, but it was close. I'm just going to take that back real quick.
No.
I don't know.
And Hudenstav is not like a commonly known district or suburb. Or...
This would not be something
I've lived in
that-
Berlin all of my life.
This would not be something that you would know. You would not recognize this.
Alright, well, I make a note to.
So it's just a name of a place. It's not even.
I mean, you're not really sure. You
seems
could,
to be,
it could
yeah,
be
yeah.
a place.
I'm
You're-
presuming it's a district or something, but I don't know.
What was the name again?
The
Walter Andre.
Well, yes, and the
Hudenstav.
Hudenstav stuff. So HUNDEGUSTAV.
Yeah, I got half of that maybe.
We should go there?
Look in. It might be a cemetery or a building or something.
Wouldn't
I don't know.
In.
It's probably a problem for tomorrow morning though. It's getting late and I need my rest.
Yes, but
Did the small doll that she sent, do we still have it?
Yes, we wouldn't have thrown it away.
you have it in 2 pieces.
It
It's better than
contains
nothing.
some kind of weird.
Ew, what is that?
Don't.
Don't touch it!
Did you
Just
touch
touch
it?
it?
Did you touch it?
We got real close. If
Your
the
finger-
warning came
Your
before I
finger
touched it.
we would have
Okay.
physically restrained you from touching it.
Why? What does?
It is corrosive, like acid. Look,
Oh.
look at his hand. I did first aid
Limp
with
as well
some
for
napkins.
this reason, or
No, that's from me
that's a
being drunk.
natural? Oh right. Are you?
I don't want to get kicked out.
This makes no sense. She seemed like she was a friend of ours. Gave us advice. You caught her, she gave us advice, and yet she sends us this.
I
Maybe-
think
maybe-
she might not have intended you to break it.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe the doll is less of a warning and more of a message.
One more thing, slightly important. The woman that I caught, her skin was made of porcelain, similar in color and texture to this.
Wait, what?
Sanity checks from the two of you.
Fuck. Why eyes? Why not?
I already did it last
Oh,
time.
you did it. Sorry.
Now, what I'm going to get now, regular viewers will know that Joseph is incredibly close to insanity at this stage. What we're going to begin to do. and
I'm
this is-
also absolutely plastered.
you will have immunity to small sanity losses.
Good.
In fact, that this will be a relatively small one. You've heard a lot of weird stuff. But let me introduce a little something that I do for sanity rules to make things just a little bit more
Oh,
interesting
cool.
as you get close to the
Homebrew.
bottom. Little. I mean, it's not homebrew.
My favorite.
It's all the same rules. But once people get below 15 sanity, which
I'm at 15.
once people risk getting below 15 sanity, don't tell people when you succeed or fail. Just mark, let me know, and we'll tell you what. We'll let the audience know too, if a nod of a
Okay,
thumbs
so
up
we'll
or a
just-
thumbs down.
We'll
to the
close our
camera.
eyes.
We'll just
Exactly.
not look at the roll, I
And-
guess.
Exactly, and We will figure out how much sense. So people will never know when you snap, and will never know how close you are to snapping. Only you will, and that means that they might hand you the gun and say, "Cover me," just as you're on 1 sanity left,
Okay.
or on 0 sanity already.
Can I quickly check? Do we know that Yosef is circling the drain, for lack of a better term?
Do you know he's a superhero?
Yeah.
I don't know that.
You two know that Yosef has been circling the drain for the last decade.
As long as I've known him.
Really? Yes.
No, but like to the extent that he is right now.
I'll tell you what. Make a psychology.
I think he's getting better. He's
I
brought
apply
himself up in the
psychology.
world. He's got a. I think he's improving.
Yeah.
I pass.
You pass. Well done. I thought you make a psychology test too.
Got a bead on you, old man.
Is that? Nope.
Okay, so you are convinced he's getting better. He's doing so
on the
well. He's got a job. You're kind of happy. You're ready to. You're ready to let him see a little stress. Let him see what the world is like.
Yeah.
You can see. He's hardly held together at all, and you still have your suspicions about what exactly it is that this strange mirrored Joseph is.
Yeah, have we talked about this? His leg, I swear.
We acknowledged.
No, yeah, I told
noticed
you.
it.
Oh, we
about
know.
it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I told you
All
what
right,
happened.
Yosef.
Him and your role.
Yosef.
That is
I
your
don't want
real
to
name.
see.
Really? Alright. So what do I get for being absolutely
Oh, I
busted?
failed.
If the sanity loss you take would be 2 or less, you just ignore it.
Oh, great.
That's exactly correct.
That's a pretty good deal.
I failed my roll.
Oh, okay. So you will just take 1 sanity loss. So this will be something that if you, in fact, don't
I guess
bother
no,
rolling.
it's-
Don't bother rolling because if you succeed, nothing will happen. If you fail, nothing. will
Okay,
happen.
right. Because just hearing about something is a tickle anyway, right?
Yes, exactly.
Good eye.
But her and her skin and is similar to the porcelain doll that's here. Like
And she was. How long ago did you run into her?
earlier, I don't know, 15 minutes ago.
And how long ago did we do the? I just she didn't.
Oh.
She didn't also.
I don't know the timing.
Did something happen when we broke the door?
Not that I saw. No, she was running away.
Maybe they're not linked.
If it did, we didn't see it.
Did she have this on the back of her head?
Did I see a symbol? I think I did. On her.
You did get a look at the back of her neck, and you did see the symbol.
The same one?
The same one, James?
Yeah. Looking at the two now, I mean, you didn't get a good look at the back of her neck. She was
Close
running.
enough,
and she, had wet hair plastered all around it, but it would appear to be the same.
If she was something that was, I mean, the skin is strange, and she seemed to be hollow almost. She absorbed water and it was weighing her down. If she was something inanimate brought to life, which sounds insane, but I'm not ruling it out, then this may have been the same thing, and whatever this fluid is may be what powers it, like diesel, gasoline.
Is there any still in the doll? Did you keep any?
I guess there'd be a little.
There'd be a little bit down the bottom. You sort of pick up like a small amount of it. The rest has
she
been
gave it
scattered
to us
on the
in a
table.
box, didn't she?
It was fired down the pneumatic tube. So
But it was in a box or something.
no, it was just a loose doll.
Oh, okay.
It's not particularly fragile. You had
I was
to.
gonna say, yeah, frying a
I was
porcelain
gonna say
doll
we
through
should
an
we
air
should we
tube,
should
but
hold on to it.
definitely
for later.
possibly can be
For
repaired
later.
as well. Look, I think we should, unless there's anything else that's going to happen tonight, I would say we retire.
Should we risk going back out into that, or?
Oh, is it continuing to get worse, or is it?
It's the wind is pretty bad, but you've got a car. You can get home. It's not at catastrophic storm levels.
Not Percy. Percy will be
Do you
taking
have
their bike.
I'm not. I didn't. Oh, I did park here.
Very pointedly. Enjoy the ride, Percy.
No.
We leave.
There's a bike you stole.
Wait.
Come easy go.
Can we do a chase sequence?
you step up and you kind of grab at Klaus and give a seriously, you're going to do this kind of look. Klaus, you absolutely can if you'd like.
I lost track. Do you have a home though?
I think I'm staying with
Oh,
You
you.
currently were staying with Klaus, yes.
Excellent. Well, that works out.
I'm keeping track.
I'm going to aggressively run outside and put my bike in the trunk of your car and just
Shotgun.
no, then I'm gonna just get in the back and slam the door. Just
I hate to be difficult, and usually I wouldn't bring this up, but there's no chance that bike will fit in the trunk of the car. These cars.
You're in the front
Oh,
seat. I'm
wait.
next, and we're both out the window holding it along the side.
And the wind's just gonna pick it up.
Unfortunately, you know somewhere safe you can stash your.
Oh, I was gonna say it's also just not my bike.
Yeah, you just steal it.
I mean, yeah, you want to be careful with that. If you leave it out, it might get stolen.
That's fun. Maybe I'll leave it there, and then like tomorrow I'll steal it again.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully the same one.
I will graciously open the door to my car to allow these two people inside.
All right.
I will take them back to my.
I have a home.
Under your bridge.
Right, I guess I'm just making a stop now.
I have an apartment.
How far out of the way is it to stop at there?
I'll tell you what. Why don't you make a luck check?
Me?
Yeah.
Yep, success.
It's it's a little to the
Okay,
side.
alright,
Oh.
good.
It's okay.
Good.
Guys,
I was going
neighbours.
to charge you for gas. I was going to hit you up, be like, so are we splitting this? You get the next one, it's fine.
All right. So you do a quick drive back. You stop by. It's not a amazing apartment
Can we
building.
come up? You've got this new place. We should see it, right?
Do you have a couch?
It is late. So no time.
Okay, well, I know we're not to push.
Percy does ask if you have a couch.
Anywhere
have a
I can
couch?
crash, he is charging me $400
yeah.
a week.
You would have you have a mattress in one corner and you have a
In
small
whatever.
couch in the other. Yeah.
I do, but I'm afraid it's more modest than accommodation you would get at
No,
Klaus's.
I've slept on the streets for 2 years. Anything indoors is fine with me.
Well, Klaus will provide that, I'm sure.
The streets?
I'm already aware this
Not
guy.
on the street.
Yeah, you're aware something's a little bit up, but
I'm not going to be rude and force my way into someone's house, but I am
I definitely don't want you to come up.
suspicious.
Yeah,
I am suspicious.
it's clear. I don't
I'm
want you to
pretty
come up.
oblivious. No, you're fine. You just stay with me. We will. Joseph, would you like to meet at my home tomorrow?
Very
Or shall we
good.
meet at yours?
your home's a little bit out.
Why don't we
of,
meet
the centre
at
of building.
Joseph's?
Sure, we can meet at
It's
Joseph's.
more-
No, the
Central.
two of you are there. It'd be easier for me to join you.
Do you have a car to arrive there?
Do I? I haven't checked the garage.
Yeah, this horrible. I'll tell you what.
You have a bus.
You don't know. You don't know if you have a car.
It's a Chrysler.
I'll make my way there somehow. Rob.
All right, seems like it is resolved. I need to get to bed. I am an 8 p.m. bedtime kind of guy, so let's leave.
Okay. All right, so the two of you load back into the car, and Klaus's driver takes you back to your home. You get back into your little apartment, looking again at all the plans that you have plastered across the walls, all the writings, and kind of what have I done is just echoing in your mind.
Well, it's
so-
mostly destroyed now, though. I had to destroy it.
Yeah, you
Try to
destroyed
read
quite a bit of it.
But
the
it's
stuff that's
still
left
scattered
is
around.
left. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the two of you arrive back at Klaus's home. The staffs will take you in. You'll head straight to bed. A guest room has been prepared for you, and the collection of you go to sleep. I would like everybody to make a power check as you go to sleep.
Must we?
Yeah.
Must we, James?
I'm going to bully you
I
and say yes. You
failed.
Did you fumble?
How much did you? What's your power?
It's 70.
Damn it.
Whoa!
It's not a fumble.
It's not a fumble, but I failed real bad.
Joseph?
Oh!
Ooh.
94 over 45. That's not a fumble.
I have a power of 50. Also fail.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
That's bad news.
So
Bad news
basically, a whole lot of you have failed,
Oh,
and
sorry.
it's not great.
Scheiße.
Very nice.
Seems a little light. Giggling German profanities. You continue.
And you all head to bed, and none of you can find sleep that night. You guys do
That's
profanity
good.
for us?
No, I'm just irritated. I need my sleep.
It's hot. It's sweaty. It's terrible. It's
Windy.
just-
It's loud.
Yeah.
Right?
You exactly. The wind is just crashing outside. You know, it's November. It shouldn't be this hot, but it is unseasonably warm, and the wind is just smashing into the buildings. And you out in the country, here, maybe not in the country, but in the sort of suburbs of Berlin, you hear several points where, tree branches are falling on houses, you hear glass breaks downstairs, and you can hear your servants like rustling around trying to clean everything up and make sure you're not disturbed, but you're not getting a wink of sleep at all. The whistling of the wind going through the guest bedroom, there's a small fireplace in the corner which is disused, but it makes this loud kind of moaning, groaning sounds at various intervals. You in the center of the city are treated to just relentless noise from the wind, but also snatched bits of yelling and conversation. It appears a large amount of people are out tonight drinking and celebrating, possibly because it's the end of the war and it's the memorial of the end of the war, and it's still become some kind of a grand day of celebration.
People are outside in that.
Yes, blustering around, going through the streets. It's getting pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
You manage to sort of drift into a weird kind of half sleep.
Oh, that's the worst kind.
Yeah.
The kind you get on a plane.
Oh man.
It's really a game of horror. And in the morning, you sort of force yourselves up, pretending that some kind of difference has happened in the day and that you've actually differentiated. You have to get up early as well, and you end up doing that thing where you just sort of get up at 4 and go, "I'll get across whatever." And the wind is getting worse and worse and worse. There are now, you see a paper bustling past at one point. You're sure that it contains storm warnings. There's no way that you or anyone else is going to...
Storm warning. Thank you!
There's no way that you or anyone else is going to be able to read them because they're blustering around. It is just a complete and chaotic sort of mess of a time.
It's like the weather telling rock.
Yes, exactly.
So there's a sign of a rock.
Yeah,
Like,
if the rock is...
if the rock is wet, it's raining. The rock
Yeah.
has snow on it, it's snowing. If the rock
Rock's
is
on the
gone,
ground,
tornado.
yeah.
Yes, classic. You make your way, and you there's actually quite a bit of damage that has been done to the sort of areas outside, and there are still a lot of people reveling about. As you're walking down one of the main
What are they
boulevards,
celebrating?
Wait, don't bury the lead here.
Yes.
Do I have a car?
Oh, well, okay, let's go and have a look. You go down to the garage and you're like exhausted and you think, well, maybe I'll get something out of this. You turn towards the garage. I want you to make a luck check for me.
Should we
I
credit
want
rating
you to
test?
tell me...
No, I got a bit of luck.
Yeah, that's actually...
No!
Credit rating.
You bastard.
I worked for this. My father works for it. I just inherited it.
Wow, that was a moment of clarity.
Oh, dear.
Oh,
Doesn't
nice.
count.
Oh, wow.
What was it, out of
I
curiosity?
don't know. I don't even know. I didn't look.
Okay. I'm rolling 2 ones
You
again.
missed the giant dice tray.
It's not that big.
Yeah, it's like the size of this table.
Dude,
Would you
that's not
pass?
bad.
It's twice.
Lucky.
Twice what I need. I want to spend 15 points
No,
of free.
you
No, I
don't need a
can't.
car.
It's a 15.
Oh, no, it's credit rating, yeah.
It's a 15 luck car.
A success one probably wouldn't get you a car. It would get you something fun.
What would you get for a
But-
crit? 29 points of luck.
29
Bike.
points. If you crit,
Hypothetical.
gosh, I'll tell you what.
Biplane.
It's not even. It's
Yeah. What do I
oh
get?
Cigarette
man, you own
boat.
a Spitfire.
It's the Red Baron or whatever. Snoopy.
How did that
if
get
you
there?
crit on this, I'll tell you what. Actually, why don't you push this roll and not use luck?
No.
Let me see how we go. I'll keep the consequence a little secret.
Reaper suggests a submarine.
A submarine is the worst one. That's perfect.
In an
It's so
apartment
expensive.
garage.
You're like,
It takes up literally half of the garage.
You've got a seal, so down the bottom of the apartment, there's like sealed, garage doors, sort of old style things. So you've got like a little.
to be clear, with
stuff
you
down there.
with you pushing this, you have a 1. It's 10%
Yeah,
chance.
with an enormous hatch that opens up to the underground river system
Yes.
that connects to the sea.
As
from
the
a
wooden
submarine.
legged hero.
To the back
Please,
cave.
submarine.
No.
Oh, I wanted it.
So with a fail, you go in, you kind of open the door, you're like, I don't know what I'm hoping for. Please, please, please. And you
Submarine.
swing it open. And if you had succeeded this,
Ah.
this was going to be a complete set of backup equipment for the grand plot that you were preparing. As it is just all of the empty cartons of explosives and demolition charges for some kind of bomb. It would appear, or some kind of several bombs, and you sort of go through and kind of quickly go in and shut it behind you, get close.
Congratulations, it's evidence.
Can you make a demolitions check for me?
Yes.
Artillery?
I don't think he uses
Artillery,
demolitions.
sorry, yes,
yeah.
artillery, yes.
How'd you go to artillery?
Yeah. How do you think I lost my leg?
Okay,
Doesn't make any
so you're not
sense.
that, yeah.
Artillery, yes. Hard. Success
Artillery, okay. So you get down and you're just like, what do I do? You have no memory of any of this, and as you start to sort of pick up boxes and go through it, there is a little more information here that you are able to sort of start piecing together. And you clearly have been plotting to destroy something. And it would seem that you have been plotting to destroy some major piece of architecture. You're not exactly sure what it is, possibly several pieces of architecture.
Nice.
Loosely, you sort of you can see that some of the you would know how far you can transport some of these safely, and you would say it is probably local. It is within Berlin, but beyond that, you have no idea. Probably worth a little bit of concern, yeah.
Oh well. I'll just sweep that under the rug.
Okay.
Shut the
you
garage
turn
door.
back, shut the garage door.
That part of my
Turn.
mind.
Get
Put
a
up your
bait, throw it
coat
in header.
and head off. So you continue along, eventually arriving at the house, Klaus's place, and the three of you can reunite. The two of you have woken up at Eton. Three of your servants didn't make it in.
Didn't make it.
Didn't make it through the night. They didn't make it in. Two of them have managed to get through messages, phone calls, and stuff saying that
I'm not
they're, physically not
millionaire.
here.
I'm probably I just have like a.
You have a couple of
two or
that's
three.
why that's why they go home at the end of the day, essentially. And they've managed to get through messages saying I can't be here.
Thanks what we paid for the day.
Yeah, well, I mean, totally fair.
They're not unionized yet.
Nope. No, will they ever? If I can help it.
I see.
I'm not having that shit at my house.
Klaus, you rascal. No.
Cheeky dog.
And the storm appears to be sort of just continuously getting worse and worse and worse.
So is it just wind, or is it?
It is really bad wind.
But is there rain, or is it
Sleet. There's a little bit of
just
sleet
wind?
last night, but no, it is mostly rain. There does not appear to be any sleet this morning. Now, at great personal expense to their safety, someone managed to get you a paper because you're a man who likes the paper in the morning. And the two of you can kind of see it, and you become increasingly concerned as you begin to read through a bunch of the front stories. First of all, there have been a massive number of arrests of public drunkenness. It appears that some sort of terrible, wave of debauchery has swept through the city. There have been reports of exhibitionism and all kinds of bizarre behavior. The obituaries section has doubled in size. And as you begin to read through it, you can see that most of the names and the ages listed are of children, about half of them.
What?
That sucks.
The front page is that the police are completely overwhelmed. They are not able to answer calls for assistance. They are completely flat out.
This is just from the weather.
How did the children die? Does it say?
No, it doesn't. But
Sweeping tuberculosis or...
the ones that you see appear to be all reporting sickness of some kind.
That is a spike?
An enormous spike. Yes, absolutely.
Because I thought a tree came down in a school.
I'll say this. Remember what Irma was saying about her father's beliefs, why she was put in there? Was that there was something about a child something?
There was something about
It's like the moon goddess, and if that's...
Specifically, that what she said is that one of the things that her father feared was, and this was after you researched it slightly, that one of the events associated with the coming of the goddess is the culling of the young.
Oh no.
And didn't her father believe in there was the age of children or something? Am I remembering that correctly?
Yeah, there was two branches back then in the occult world. There was those that believed that an age of child was coming or something, and then there was one that believed that
the
it
age
was rather,
of the moon.
Yeah, which would, and then there was the moon goddess, which might be tied to somewhere. Anita.
Those strange behavior of the people doesn't that remind you of that dance we went to all those years ago?
That they incited into riots. It's a good point. Well, we know that, and isn't Anita being buried
I think it was the day after. Alright.
It's pretty soon, right?
Yeah, she's being buried tomorrow.
Well, we can follow up with that. There is also her husband is somewhere in the city. We could also try and track down Grau. We could also try and
I would
look
like to-
into the woman who fled last night.
I think the first point of order is looking up this symbol.
And this man, she gave us that man's name, Walter Andre.
We want to be a little careful following the lead that they have given us if it is not something we don't know where it came from, we don't know what their intent is, but yes, we should look into it. Well, either way, both of these call for research. I think a library or something is the most suitable, or a local museum.
That's fine with me.
We think the symbol is
Hebrew.
what, Hebrew?
You wouldn't have any tomes or texts?
Even a dictionary.
I have some books, but they are basic. I probably have like a basic library. It's more fiction though, I think.
Yeah.
And like childhood stories and adventure.
Absolutely, yes. You inherited a lot of books from your uncle.
Yeah, and he encouraged me to
and
read.
Yes, exactly. So you have a lot of books. I'll tell you what, you can make library use tests here, but some of the stuff will just not be available to you based on the information, and the base rating will be hard.
I think there is little to gain from my library. I think we should head in anyway. If you would like to read a book with breakfast, you're free to. But otherwise, we should head.
Is the weather any worse than it was yesterday? Is it like getting
Yes,
worse?
it appears to be
Right.
getting
Really?
worse. Yes.
I think we should just step on out. You eating breakfast? It doesn't matter. I think we should just go.
Well, it does matter a little. Breakfast is very important, but I agree. We should get going. I will have you grab a sandwich or grab some toast and an egg, or I can't think of what egg might be in German. And I will have the driver bring the car around.
All right, excellent.
Singing oof as French.
Oof is French, yes.
You're gonna look it up. Is it? What is it? How do you spell that? I
Aye.
Aye.
have
Would
an
you like
eye.
an
Oh,
egg?
no.
Aye.
Excellent.
The
So,
eyes have it.
After
And of
you've
course,
had some,
an eye.
after you've had some scrambled eyes on toast, a car
Ah!
sanity test for everyone.
Why are you spelling scrambled eggs on toast?
Scrambled eyes on toast.
Very good, sir. Very good.
You're speaking German in character. Ooh, why are you guys making?
A car you have the car brought round, and you are going to head towards one of the larger municipal libraries in Berlin.
You can't possibly have a library prepared.
Oh, well, I possibly do. Fortunately, I didn't have to do all that much preparation because I have this wonderful book right here in front of me, Berlin, the Wicked City, which is
Do
what
we
we're
have a
playing the
physical
campaign.
version of that on hand?
Unfortunately, we do not have it right here
Oh,
with us.
okay.
So we will have to deal without it. Now, there are a couple of different libraries that you could choose from. First of all,
Oh wait, no, because he's blown up once.
They all
closest one.
contain books.
Would I be a patron? Do libraries have patrons?
yeah, some
My
libraries.
family have made a donation.
Absolutely.
Better
You're
not be the one across town.
Freaking blue.
What do you issue with blowing up a library?
Lingering.
Wait, I'm the one that's suspicious.
suspicion. Oh yeah, I'm not.
there are several libraries. Your first bet would be to go to the town library, which is the second largest, but basically the most popular large bibliothek in as it's called in Germany, in Berlin rather. But you could also try to go to one of the other specialized libraries. There are libraries that specialize in all kinds of stuff. There is a kind of a counterculture library called the Institute Library, which mostly caters to like counterculture or banned books. There's a lot of erotic stuff there. There's a lot of kind of weirder stuff. There's the Artisans Institute Library. There's a bunch of. Are you going to a specialty library or just sort of a?
Well, the
generic
only other one I'll throw in is we go back to the cultist bookstore. No, we've exhausted that.
The Prussian State Library is another
Oh,
one.
I have
that
some
you could
books
go
for
to.
you that I bought for you, don't I? What did you want? You wanted books on something? I bought them right at the end. I bought some stuff for my uncle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dang.
Orchid, you got a
What did I
couple of books.
want?
I mainly bought them because you could afford them.
I
but
just
you
wrote.
may as well have
I
them.
just wrote bookshop and no other notes.
All right, well.
It's
I
alright.
left them at home.
It's fine.
All right, let's just go to the town
Specifically,
hall, the town
Ethnological Museum, the Museum of German National Costumes and Domestic Industries, the Museum of Industrial Art, Museum of Natural History, the
Maybe.
Orphanographical Museum, the
No.
Prussian State Library,
Wait.
the Town Library.
The what? The
Does that mean
author-
birds?
Orphanographical
Birds.
Museum is a history of German nautical engineering going back to medieval era.
I just want to go there.
Can we go there? Oh wait, hang on.
Submarine! Oh dear.
I want to go there, but it's got nothing to do with the plot.
Okay, so let's recap. What do we need to know so we can make a choice?
The
'Cause
Hebrew thing
Hebrew?
and general looking up people like Walter and the other word. I think the town library.
That does not sound like we need to go to the Special Naval Museum. Unless he was in the Navy, which we can go
you're gonna
later.
you're gonna have eyes on your face.
Wait, what?
Egg on your face.
Um,
we'll go to the town library, I think, right?
Town Library.
I think
Okay,
so.
Perfect.
Yeah, I agree. I think that is the most appropriate.
Okay.
The bee's news.
So you make a trip across Berlin and you head towards the town library. Now, once again, your trip is beginning to get rather busy. The wind is still blustering, and these cars, open roof, as I said. None of you wear particularly elaborate costumes. You've got your hat, if you have decided to wear it,
Always
is
bothered,
yeah. Well, I mean, so you're literally having to hold it for most of the way as you go. The
Because it's got no
Just
roof.
put it
Yeah.
in your lap. You don't need to wear it in the
I didn't
car.
bring a box.
yeah.
Why does your car have no roof? Wait, do
That is
all
the
cars
style.
have no roof?
A lot of cars do not have
This
roofs.
is silly. Why would you take the roof off something that had a roof?
I don't think it's
We
had
don't
one
have
at the
houses
start.
that don't have.
It was designed in this manner. Cutting edge.
I will die on this hill. We need a roof for this car.
Perhaps he cannot afford one.
Do you think this man wearing a top hat in a car
I want
on
for
a windy
nothing.
day?
At the roof.
Continuing along.
My hat wouldn't fit in the car if I had the roof.
This is probably true. Now you continue heading through the city, and eventually you arrive at the large library. Getting out, you actually see that one of the local cafes just near the library, sort of just down the road. It gives a good view of the building, which is quite large and very opulent with large columns. Is filled with people singing. They appear to be drinking quite heavily. And you had also, as you drove along, had like people, revelers kind of run in front of the car at
What
one
the
point.
hell?
It's getting
They haven't
it's
gone to bed.
not having gone
It's
to
like
bed.
9 in the morning, right?
Yes,
It's
yes.
like 8 o'clock.
And things
They're
are
still
getting
partying.
really,
We
really
like
busy.
win the World Cup and we weren't paying attention. Are we competing in anything? Have we won? Are they wearing
We're
flags?
celebrating the end of a war that we lost.
Well,
Yeah,
you're-
10
I don't
years
think we're
ago.
harping on
at
about
this
that
stage.
much.
Yeah, you're not really sure why they're.
Can we like as we go past be like, hey, why are you?
Yeah.
What is happening? Why are you celebrating?
You stop at the library and you get out. You can see people passing by. As you get out, you head towards sort of two men who are sort of leaning in the
hooligans.
street, singing, and they both have a large sort of beer steins in their hand. And you would ask, what are they celebrating? They kind of turn towards you. Life. We're celebrating life. Do you like a drink? He
No.
holds you like a half-finished.
No, thank you. You've been celebrating since last night.
It's been a long day, but it's. Oh my God, it's morning,
I
isn't
think
it?
it's. And you're intending to continue celebrating.
That's a great idea, isn't it? We should then look toward we should just keep going, Even though they're laughing. Now, as you're talking,
sorry.
they are
Like young, they're like party culture. Are they like older that they should have jobs and be going to them?
they should have. They're like 29. They're still younger, but
And it's like a weekday? Like they're actually
not
at work.
well, it's the day after a public holiday because of Armistice Day.
Oh, so it was Armistice Day. So they
Yes.
were kind of celebrating
Yes.
something. It would have
Specifically,
started.
if someone wants to find out what exact day it would be, if someone wants to look up November 12th, 1928, we can figure out.
Just did that. I beat you to it. I just want that to be known.
Excellent. I did see you lean forward. Thank you, Jackson. November 12th, 1928.
There was a solar eclipse.
Ooh,
Oh, sorry. Is that something we shouldn't know?
I wonder.
Oh, damn. I apologize.
Wow, I
just
wonder.
spoiled everything.
Can you
You saw it in
imagine?
the
God,
paper this
Can you
morning.
imagine
Damn.
if on top of this crazy weather there was a solar eclipse?
No.
Okay, good. That's not going to happen then.
No.
What day was it, Joseph?
Can't find it.
It's a Wednesday.
Are you sure? No, Monday.
Monday.
Oh, it's
had one
okay.
said-
So,
So yes,
Monday.
people very much should be at work, and they do not appear to be.
It makes sense why they started celebrating at least. Like, there was a
yes, exactly.
there was
And another thing to note, and you all note this as you're sort of getting out of the car is being parked. You start sort of walking along. A fly buzzes towards you, and you kind of brush it away. And then after a couple of steps, there's two more flies, and flies are normal. But then suddenly, like. We are all Australians, so we deal with flies all the time. But it's it's
the
like
time.
exactly. There's one buzzing around the room right now. No, it is like being out of the country. You simply can't stop without you're consistently batting away flies.
holding my hat one hand and
It's not great.
So I think we should run inside.
Yep.
It's weird.
we step up into the library with haste.
Alright, it's a very nice building. It's ornate. It's well put together, and you can see large rooms that sort of extend out in the distance ahead of you, filled with books. There's several reception desks towards one side.
Imagine not super busy, given A, revelry, and B, storm.
Yes, not super busy at all. In fact, there are no receptionists around.
Is there anyone in the library?
You kind of glance around, make a spot hidden test.
Hot damn. Hot dog.
Boy. Oh my god! Success 3.
Well done. So you manage to spot a couple of people who appear to be sort of in the library. You know, and then with a sort of keen eye, you spot far across the other side of the library. You can see what looks like a receptionist who's hurrying, putting back books, turn and see you and kind of, oh god, and start like hurrying. And it takes her about a minute to arrive until finally she walks forward and says, yes, I'm sorry, you welcome, you can visit the library. Do you need any help? I'm sorry,
Yes.
do you require, yes, how may I assist?
We're looking for a few things. We need a name directory.
Yes.
We need to find someone in the city, I presume.
Like a white pages.
Yeah, yes, like white pages, and we also need
Hebrew dictionary.
someone who's familiar with Hebrew.
Oh, okay, I will do my best to find both of these things for you. But please take a seat in the reading room. I will attend to you as quickly as I can.
Is it particularly busy today?
No, but we've had several of the other library workers have not arrived for their
Of
shift.
course, take your time, Leo.
We can wait and entertain ourselves with some light reading.
But don't take too long. We
We
do have
are on a small timetable.
Oh, okay, I will do my
the
best.
world.
She rushes off, and the collection of you head up and basically sit down in this reading room.
Can we go and have a look at the books? Like, for waiting, we may as well have a
Have a browse.
Have a browse.
I'll tell you what, everyone make a library use check. Also, with the
yeah.
spot hidden check, I would like you to note, you can see that no one in here appears to be doing much work. There's a couple of people who, they've got like textbooks in front of them, and they're kind of just...
Oh, so the people who are here, not like the employees.
Yeah,
It's kind of like-
they're studying and stuff, and they appear to be like looking pretty distractible. And as you walk through, you can see that there is one aisle that is actually quite busy. And as you look through, you see that to your bizarre realization, it's an aisle of medical textbooks, and you can see like a group of people, and they're flipping through a medical textbook, and kind of stopping and all kind of pointing and looking at each other and nodding and talking.
Exams coming up, perhaps.
I don't want to bother them in a library. I do want to talk to them.
Yeah.
I might just walk past and
With that spot hidden roll, it was a success 3. I'll give you sort of manage to crane your neck and have a look. And it appears that they are flicking through medical textbooks to find dirty pictures.
Nice.
Absolutely bizarre behavior.
I'm not gonna bother them.
Just some.
Right, okay, there's some weird stuff going down. Let's go wait in the waiting room.
Do I have any? If I were to reflect for a moment, am I like, oh, I wish we'd stop this cert so I can drink and flick through medical textbooks to find dirty pictures?
Yeah, make a power test.
Nope. Well,
No, you're mystified.
I'm good?
Yeah, you.
the hell?
Yeah.
Maybe because it was something that happened while we were in the sleeping building or something.
What do you mean?
Well, they're all doing this. The whole city has been struck by some strange need, but we are unaffected for the most part.
Oh,
I think it may be because we were.
you think something
Not here.
happened?
I don't know. I don't know. It just.
Is there a newspaper archive?
Yeah, you can. There's a newspaper archive. Yeah, absolutely.
We.
And did everyone make a library use check?
Well, for
Oh, I
just,
did not-
general.
This is a
not.
general library use check.
I was
And in fact, actually, give me one topic that you're all most interested in, so I have.
Nautical
I
engineering.
would like to
Well,
look up like weird weather phenomena.
Weird weather
In the
phenomena.
past like 2 years or so, and a fail.
I was most interested in the Hebrew symbol, but now the librarian is looking for that for me.
Functionally, let's give you advantage on this roll because the librarian is helping you.
Very good. Still not happening. I got 20.
Okay.
It's all up to her.
I just want to like look around and stuff and just entertain myself mainly, but I will.
Dirty pictures. What are they looking for? Like anatomy?
I wanna find better dirty pictures so I can trade them to them if needed.
So you're looking at.
Fail.
Yeah, unfortunately, they seem to have honed in on where all the good stuff is. Now, the two of you beginning to look for things. You find plenty of evidence of bizarre weather patterns. You know, it's not out of the ordinary, really. Berlin has rather wild weather.
Right.
But nothing that is this out of the ordinary, and nothing that appears to, there's no great, and of course, the day that you all went into Berlin, Dream Berlin, there was like a great, terrible storm.
Yeah, there
that
wasn't like the
lasted 6
tornado
weeks.
of 27.
We're in summer, right, as well. It's humid as hell. Is that right?
No,
Well, that's when we went
winter.
in.
You went in summer. You it's winter.
Devil.
Now, you look
Yeah, it's
into
cold
the Hebrew
now.
symbol.
No, it's seasonably hot.
You do not manage to find any specific reference to it. Although the librarian is going to give you some help, and she is going to say,
Yes.
as she comes with the white pages equivalent, she has a list of sort of an address book which she pushes forward, and it says, I'm sorry, I couldn't find anything on the symbol that you suggested, but you said you saw it on a doll, correct? Would you have given her that information?
I
I don't say. We
would
probably.
not
I think
say.
we. No. I
In
don't-
which
I think
case
we
she'll
should.
say,
I think we should.
where did you find it? Where did you see it? Some context will assist me.
What's wrong with telling her?
On a doll.
On a doll. Well, that makes sense. It's probably an artisan's mark. It's probably a signature of some form. You possibly, if you head towards the, you will be able to. If you head towards the Jewish quarter of Berlin, you'll be able to find people who will, I'm sure, be able to direct you or translate the signature. It likely is not a word, more of a name, or perhaps it has some meaning.
Can we make out a W or an A in the symbol? Like, does it look like
The
there might be a
equivalent?
W or no?
Unfortunately, no.
But like the Hebrew equivalent.
Shit,
W,
yeah, true.
right?
I don't know what those are though. Do we have like a general Hebrew to German dictionary?
Yeah, that will have been provided for you.
Can we take this?
Yes, you can sign out a book.
Borrow
absolutely.
it.
Yes.
Borrow the book.
Yeah, you can borrow a book, of
Which
course.
is provided free of charge thanks to our tax dollars for the better good.
And
I'm sorry, I thought-
significant donations from rich patrons who keep these things going and uplift the city.
Let's not fight now while there's wind apocalypse.
Yes, let's not.
Oh, can I request one more topic from the librarian?
Absolutely. Yes, how can I assist?
Mythology. We would like to know references to moon goddesses.
Oh, absolutely. I can assist you with that. Although, if you are interested, you may desire instead to simply I believe that there is a museum nearby that is doing some kind of
Submarine museum?
not a submarine museum, I'm afraid.
Boo.
Although I do understand, based on the discussions I've overheard from the two of you, that you are very.
I love submarines.
submarines.
Yeah.
Well,
Klaus, hey
But
Klaus,
no,
look
there
at
is
this
a,
picture of a submarine.
we should go half and half in a submarine.
The director of the Pergamon Museum, a man named
Excuse
Walter
me?
Andre, is running an exhibition on
The Pergamon.
ancient Babylonian culture with a focus on the tales of.
Pass her back the white pages.
Are you sure you don't?
Yeah,
want this
very good. Would you be able to give us specific directions to where that is, please?
Oh, absolutely. I can direct you.
And do you know if it is still running, given the weather?
Well, it's being set up, I believe. So I think they have a strict opening schedule. So it will.
Very good.
Well, I'm sure we could stop by.
Yes.
I will rent this book from you.
Borrow.
Certainly, yes,
Precious.
yes. And she will make the necessary organizations for that.
Yoink. Do we want to ask? So we have a couple other things. We have this Fraternitas Satina. We could try and follow that up a bit. There's also Ishtar, the goddess of the moon. I mean, I know we're going to more detail, but do we want to do any googling? Dust Google before we depart.
I feel like if anyone's gonna know, it'd be Walter.
Okay.
What was the name of the museum again?
The
Pergamon.
name of the museum is the Pergamon Museum. Pergamon Museum.
Does that
Pergamon
mean
Museum.
anything in German?
You know what? I believe it is just a name. But
Like,
I
or
may
the
be corrected
location or
there.
something?
Yes.
Yeah, not significant. Okay, and they're running an exhibition. What is it? What kind of exhibitions do they normally run there? Like, do they? Because a cult's a little weird, right? Or do they normally? Is this a?
This is not an
boutique
occult
museum?
This is not an occult exhibit. I keep saying exposition. It's an exhibit. I think would be the correct
Well, there'll be
term.
exposition there
Yes,
as well. Hopefully.
exactly. Well, yeah. This is not an occult exhibit. It is an exhibit, as far as you were aware, and you were able to ask the librarian a little bit of this. It is an exhibit on the culture of ancient Babylon.
Okay.
And specifically, that crosses over into. I think I said Byzantine. I meant Babylon. Culture of ancient Babylon.
Okay. Thank you, James.
Most fascinating.
Curious and curiouser.
Why?
Well,
The Pergamon Museum was named after the Pergamon altar, which was placed within it. What's the Pergamon altar, you ask? I don't know. Please, someone Google it. Chat, help us out.
do the work for
Well,
us.
we had better
Yeah.
get going while it is still early. As they say, Morgenstund hat Gold im Mund.
Oh, yes, I say that all the
My
time.
German is not very good. What's that in Swedish?
Couldn't tell you.
Oh dear. All
Because
right.
I don't speak English, obviously.
No,
what a
no,
terrible language.
Horrible
It's
barbaric tongue.
just a giant mess. All the words are from different places, and
They stole a
grammar is
good
really
chunk of
weird.
ours.
why do we have apostrophes? They don't make sense.
So,
I mean,
So
why
they
does
don't-
English have?
They only capitalize some of their nouns, not all of them.
They don't even smush words together a whole bunch. Wait, I'm not. Never mind.
They underuse the hyphen.
where to next?
The exhibit.
The exhibit, I
Okay.
reckon, because it's not open yet. I will just pretend we're journalists or something.
Or I'll just give them money.
All right.
Okay.
The Pergamon altar is essentially like a giant ancient Greek
Wow.
staircase slash front porch that they just lifted out of Greece and plonked in the middle of the museum.
Ah, that old classic.
historic
Steal
front
it.
It's what it is. It's like an enormous staircase and a
is that
front
still
porch.
in Berlin? I saw
35
something-
meters wide and 33 meters
I saw
deep.
something very
Front
similar
porch.
in London last year. They've got a whole. That's where they got that.
And they just
Anyway.
dumped it in a museum in Berlin.
I'm excited for
Yoink.
my like stairs at the front of my house where like I get my deliveries and stuff. We're gonna be in a museum in 1,000 years or so.
That's what it is.
It's the Rachel altar. Sorry, I shouldn't be
and there's
crapping on
relief,
that.
there's relief carvings speaking
Oh,
of
okay.
It does look
carvings
pretty
in
between the
it.
battle
Does look
between
really
the
cool,
giants
actually.
and the Olympian
It's not just a
gods.
porch. It's a
Would you like to share that in chat if you? if
Yeah,
you have
post the link.
capacity to
Oh,
do
it's,
so?
it's straight up Wikipedia. Yeah.
That counts.
That's a valid source.
All right.
All right.
It is currently closed for 5 years. Remodeling.
Oh,
Oh, that doesn't work for this campaign.
Yeah, I think we're alright.
Dang it.
Now,
Oh, yeah, reschedule's open in 2023. Rip Rooney.
so
Road trip.
you are heading to the museum, which is on Museum Island, which is sort of a small, basically islet within Berlin.
We're on there. There's no way we're gonna get there. We need a submarine. We're just joking. It's fine. There's a bridge.
Yeah, and you
We're
head straight
only
over there.
imagining.
Now, the museum at this point is basically a construction site. As you arrive, it is also closed for remodeling. There are extensive repairs being done, and you can see that the wind now is doing quite significant damage to a building site. But people do appear to be bustling around, doing their best to sort of work. Your driver parks your car, and you all head out and you walk up to the steps of the building and kind of wait about until one of these sort of junior workers kind of will spot you and walk towards you. Can I help you?
Yeah, we heard you was running an exhibition on Babylon.
I'm just one of the builders. I can bring in Mr. Andre.
Yeah, or if you can bring us to him rather than us standing outside.
That sounds like
we're from the local paper.
And we have money.
Yes.
Oh,
It's urgent. The story we have until it's a
Sure,
new...
sure, okay, sure. He just does not see me. He's like, whatever. He's on a pause when you said money. He's like, oh, maybe I can get a tip out of this. And he's like, oh, well, sure, let me lead you in. And he
Famously
takes you
me.
in. As you get up to the door, he kind of turns, can I take your coat?
Yes, thank you.
I'm fine.
And the hat.
Thank you. He kind of looks and then
my
doesn't
saber.
know what to do, and he just sort of walks and sort of stands to the side. You're taken into the museum, and you can see that there are people bustling around. There is really huge areas are sort of curtained off with large tarps. There's scaffolding all around the place. You can see that the focus of the construction appears to be around some kind of large stone structure towards the corner. And as you look towards it, you all feel a chill come over you. Because you recognize this structure somewhat. This structure is very similar architecturally to the structure that you saw in Dream Berlin in the middle of the city. That large domed building with a great gate at the front. This appears to be, it appears to be part of the gate.
Mega dome.
As you sit and watch, also stand and watch, you see a man beginning to head towards you. He's average height, perhaps a little bit on the short side, a little plump, but looks perfectly sort of normal. He's wearing a suit, but he's got his sleeves up. Clearly, he's ready to do some work. Not terrible, yes, because if his sleeve is above the elbow, it's a sign that something ungentlemanly is about to happen, according to a 1923 book on etiquette I was shown.
Like a punch up?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. If you roll your sleeves above the elbow in polite society, it's saying we're going to throw down. This is.
Below the elbow is fine.
Oh yes, and he has it sort of here.
So
very
this is
good.
cool, isn't it?
Oh.
Hey, look out!
Be cool.
Diffused.
So, the man walks towards you and says, he has a quick word with the worker and then sort of looks at the worker who's holding a top hat and coat and sort of shrugs and brushes him off and walks forward and says, hello everybody, my name is, it's very nice to meet you all. How can I, you're from a paper?
Yes.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah,
I'm happy
we would just, if you could just take us around, give us the layout so we can write our piece and then we'll ask some questions.
I'm so sorry, but this is an active construction site. I can't give you a tour, but I can answer any questions, and of course you can look at the site from a distance. We'll be opening soon, and it's a surprise. You understand? We can't let anyone right up close yet. But it's magnificent, isn't it? We're wonderful.
Yeah.
Gestures towards the city. So are you historians or familiar with Babylonian culture, or do you need a primer or?
Yes, a primer would be great.
Excellent. Well, this is the Ishtar Gate, named after the moon goddess Ishtar.
Oh, yes.
And of course, it was excavated by Robert Coldway, who did a lot of excavations through the area of former Babylon in the.
Just realised it seems like we both pulled out our Microsoft services and are now like software journalists.
Fantastic.
Oh, we're sponsored by Microsoft.
We probably are, sitting with little notepads.
Yeah. Now this, of course, was built, we believe, of course, by King Nebuchadnezzar II almost 2,500 years ago.
The dome? The gate.
Yes, we do actually. You're rather sharp. We do believe it was part of a large structure, but of course we can't be certain. We've managed to bring this, and we are now restoring it to its former glory, attempting to show some of what the great past was like. Do you have any questions?
Yes.
Sure we do.
When did you begin this project?
Oh, this project has been quite some time. I suppose perhaps 2 or 3 years now.
Okay. Any major events in the last couple of days?
Major events.
Yeah, like
It was
significant steps taken.
significant new steps. No, not that I'm
nothing
aware
major.
of.
What?
did
What
curious.
inspired
No one's been
you?
working for the last couple of days because the answers stay on the weekend.
Right, of course.
Of course.
What inspired you to start this project?
Well, when I took over the museum, I was the director of what was called the Eastern Research division and just focusing on archaeological study, and he begins a long triad. He's just he's an interested geek, and this is his job.
Right. There's no like I
gotta
went to the country and
We-
touched an orb.
I got a straight
everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, you can roll a psychology to try and get a read on him.
Yeah, I'll do
but,
that anyway.
Yep, please do.
Oh, nah.
Nah, he seems to just be perfect. He's perfectly happy to answer questions. He's fairly open. He seems to be seeing this as a little bit of a press opportunity, and he's trying to present himself well. He probably asks you to come back to sort of one of the areas of the museum that is a little less under construction, sits you down, offers you both some tea.
Oh yeah, we'll take. We were given your name by a common friend of ours, and we also wanted to ask you about. Do you have a drawing of the symbol?
Oh, yeah. Show him the symbol.
Does this mean anything to you?
He takes it. Well, it's an artisan's mark of some sort. I think. Oh yes, this is quite a famous one. This is from a doll maker in the Jewish Quarter, Balthazar, if I'm not mistaken.
How would we spell that if you remember that off the top of your head?
Let me think for about 10 or 15 seconds for no particular reason.
Fire up those neurons.
Exactly.
Sitting there.
Sparking.
It's okay if you want to give us an approximation.
Balthazar.
Oh, double Z. Well, no.
Yeah. Another one. Are you familiar with?
Near the Rossenthagerstrasse, if you're looking for.
Right.
Of course. I'm just gonna hit him with another word. I'm gonna go. Yes, Balthazar. This is the same one who stays near the Hundenstav.
The Hundenstav.
Hundegustav.
Actually, Balthazar and the Hundenstav. I think we'll all be damned, won't we?
What? I don't get the joke.
It's a den of debauchery, and Balthazar's an old man. He wouldn't be going to a place like that.
It is a location, like a bar.
Yeah. Yes. It's a cabaret bar. And,
it's a cabaret
some
bar.
say a brothel and a den of iniquity and a den of drugs and vice and everything that Berlin seems to provide in such excess nowadays.
Yes, you seem to know quite a bit about it. Do they do phone calls?
Phone calls? You mean are there telephone girls working there? I'm afraid I don't frequent those sort of places, my friend.
Psychology check.
Certainly, yeah.
Nope.
No, he seems a little affronted. He's like, I wouldn't know. Sorry, but Balthazar, no. The man's an institution of Berlin at this point.
Of course. Well,
what was Growl's lecture meant to be about?
What?
I heard Alban Growl.
He was insane.
Grau is going to be talking about his occult lectures. This isn't Walter talking course. This is he's talking.
Right,
It was on his particular knowledge of magic, specifically mirror magic and dream magic.
And he kind of just
Waffled
He failed to do that.
randomly. Yes.
With the moon goddess, what are her powers and abilities in the
moon goddess.
lore?
Well, I mean, academically, we know somewhat little. We believe that she may have been an amalgam. Of course, Ishtar is not the only name for this goddess. There is reference to her in Sumerian, Greek, Hebrew culture, also called Iana or Asatra or Ioseth, several names for the same goddess. She appears to be a woman of fertility and of growth. She did have for some time very associated with prostitution in Sumeria and Babylon. I believe there was an order of what were referred to as sacred prostitutes who worked and collected money for her church on her behalf. There is some evidence that she may be linked to the Christian, pseudo-Christian concept of Lilith. It's rather interesting, really. But I'm afraid I'm not a Borberite. I wouldn't know the full details.
What is a Borberite?
The Borberites worship her overtly. They're a cult group in Berlin of some description.
Borberites.
Well,
And just as well, she just to probe a bit more on that. Does Ishtar have any sort of natural opposing gods, enemies?
Naturally opposing gods. Well, she's linked. She's part of a trinity. Traditionally, we're getting rather deep into the weeds here, and this is only some cultures believe this, but she's part of a trinity with two other goddesses called Anat and Kudshu, Anat and Kudshu, Qudshu. Anat was a war goddess who was an eternal virgin, and Kudshu was a goddess of sexual pleasure and ecstasy. Rather opposed.
So no. Well, what I'm trying to get at is she's not like naturally opposed to like the goddess of kids or something.
No, but
if anything, she'd be in favor of that. She was fertility and stuff, right?
There's a lot of mysticism and pseudo. Look, you might have heard of a name I'm sure you've heard of, but perhaps if you did not know the connotations of. But have any of you heard of the term Whore of Babylon?
Yes.
Yes, that would be Ishtar. At least we believe.
Right. That's quite a lot of layers.
Yeah.
Seems so.
Warberite.
What paper are you saying you work for? It was quite detailed questions. I'm impressed with the level of historical accuracy. And
what was the name of Elsie's paper?
Down with the
paper. Yeah, you could give that name.
Down with the right or something.
I'm going to say what I was going to say because it's a real publication.
You go to say it and then you say, oop. Leave it there. Just use this dice twice. And he goes, I'm afraid I'm not familiar. Smaller magazine?
Yes, it's more of an underground publication.
Well, I'm happy to be involved.
With a wide readership and plenty of reach. At least it was in
Do you have a camera with you?
I was going to ask that.
No, it's huge, man. I lost that years ago.
Has it gotten any smaller? Has it gotten any smaller?
I've been living on the streets, man. Do you think I have a camera? Do you know if anybody had a camera? Living on the street.
Well, I think that is all.
I'm going to be pretending to taking a sketch because we don't have a.
Certainly. Yeah. You're
Why don't you actually take a sketch?
Yes.
I can't draw.
Oh. And as he sort of sits, he says, "Well, I hope you do publish. I mean, if you want to lean into the angle of, I suppose, occult weirdness, I believe that some people say that Ishtar was the first vampire. There's lots of interesting mythology. Yes, lots of interesting mythology to dive into. The Borberites do take things a little far. I believe they practice some more wild occult tendencies, and some of their teachings are rather sinister.
You seem to have had some dealings with them?
I imagine an exhibit like this would be quite attractive.
Oh, well, I don't think there are any real practicing Borberites in Berlin. You know, there are people who adapt the teachings, use them as an occult plaything. But if they were real Borberites, it would be entirely disturbing. The Borberites are a cult that practice psychosexual magic and incredible vice and murder and blood and terrible things. They're said to be able to steal the life essence from people and bottle it and create strange potions with odd powers and all kinds of things like that. It's very
concerning.
Very yes.
That is concerning. However, we have a few leads
the welts on your arm begin to itch at this point.
Thank you for your assistance.
No, and did you say recommended me to you?
We didn't.
Oh.
One of the librarians at the town library.
I see. Well, that I could be of assistance. Have an excellent day, and if you don't mind, it is a construction site, so I must now ask you to escort you out, if that's quite all right.
Is there anything else you want to have a look at? With the people here, can we have a look, like the construction workers? Do they seem largely unaffected by all the weird, you know what I mean?
Make a psychology test. There's definitely more of them here.
No.
Yeah, I mean, they appear to be complaining about being understaffed, but
But they're not like zombie-eyed kind of. Okay.
Oh, when did you say the exhibit will open?
We're not giving a date yet. We're worried about, we don't want to promise anything that we can't keep.
Right. Would I be able to get a closer look at that gate?
Make a persuasion chest.
Yeah, sure. I should have said it in an intimidating manner. No.
You can talk. I'm afraid I really can't. I'm sorry. We're holding it off.
Threaten to kill.
What?
Alright, he
What did you
will-
say, Klaus? Speak up and
Time to go.
leave rapidly.
Oh, on my way out.
Yes.
I don't know what I'm looking for. I don't know how I do this.
With grace.
As I leave leave the museum, I'm looking around for the most likely spot that would occur to me to plant bombs and artillery
fuck.
equipment.
Are you serious?
Okay.
Sorry.
Make for me an artillery.
Artillery, yes, of course, yes.
Oh my god. If I were to bomb this area, hypothetically,
Here's what I'd do. Oh no! Is that worth 15 points of life?
No.
It's not.
I want to know.
Joseph.
May I push that?
You can absolutely push
That's like
that.
me climbing over a velvet rope or something.
I'm not going to tell you what the. Yeah, it'll be. You okay? What it will be is you spot towards one side, like basically an area that is still completely under construction, and there's just one small kind of guy there tending, occasionally bring supplies out. It looks like he's a supply runner, and you think that if you fail, he'll spot you and you'll come at a bad time.
It's fine.
And but you're gonna burst
Yes,
in.
I need to know.
So you're just running off.
Yeah.
You still so you said, are you going to try and cover for him, or are you going to
I have no suspicion of this man.
I'm gonna let you dig your own grave. I'm not gonna help nor hinder you.
I really want this to go well, you guys.
I want this to go poorly.
Yeah, I would love for this to go well, but it'd be hilarious if it didn't.
Hard
Hot
success.
Hard success.
Hard success.
Okay, right. You head in. You wait for the guy to leave, and you walk through, and you come through, and basically into like a supply storeroom, essentially.
And this
You
is
begin
where
to-
I'd put something.
Yes, you begin to fumble through, and it appears to just be bags of cement and wheelbarrows until you lift up one disused one, and
What?
explosives, a pack of explosives set up under a wheelbarrow
What
in the
did
supply
you do?
room.
What did you? I don't understand.
It's not enough to be all of them,
Oh no!
but one of them is here.
Excuse me?
And on that, let's take a quick break.
Are you serious?
We'll be
Dream
back
Joseph
soon.
has been busy.
Oh,
Oh
Jesus.
my god!
See you soon.
What are you?
I gotta go manually do it all scratch it.
Ooh, manual disconnection.
I know.
Things are getting cool.
What?
We'll be right back, everybody. Stick around to see if these bombs go off.
Okay. I was like, what are you talking?
You're live.
Oh, I'm live already.
Yes.
Oh my god, look at that. Hello, everybody.
Hot damn.
Hi, thank you for joining us. Thanks for being back with us as we jump back into our scenario of Call of Cthulhu from Berlin, the Wicked City. What just happened is that you went to visit a museum, and while you were there, you got a bunch of really useful information
Yeah, it was a
about
cool
the
place.
upcoming, mystery that you're trying to solve. You figured out that the strange Hustengav, the word that you had thing, is actually the name of a notorious cabaret club of some sort. And finally, you found a bunch of explosives under a wheelbarrow that it appears you put there years ago and forgot about.
Excuse me?
What?
And things like
I'm
that.
gonna write that down.
Yes.
So we didn't see this.
No, he's ducked away, but he takes long enough at this stage. So he's sort of ducked off, and as you sort of get towards the front, Walter says, "Oh, once again, thank you for coming." And has your friend gone to the powder room?
I'm sure he's off somewhere unsuspicious. No, yeah.
A way to phrase things. Well, we'll just wait. Not far behind. Thank you again for coming, and yes, I do hope you enjoy the. I have you both as visitors.
We will absolutely come back.
Excellent.
Yes, and we'll bring Yosef with us.
What are you doing?
Where are you, man?
No, I wouldn't touch it. I
You
would
wouldn't touch it.
see it and then make sure my presence was not noticed.
Yep. You turn.
Is it
back.
like live? Isn't like a fuse or anything? It's just that it's there
It
and
is there.
primed to be.
It is there.
What is it?
primed
It's
to be.
just explosives, or is it not like a cannon or anything?
No, it is,
Or a
it
launcher?
is a large set of explosives. But you got a success too, right?
I did.
All right. So there's no fuse or anything. The only way that something could set this off is if it by some kind of artillery.
You say that with such a.
That could never happen.
This.
Well, considering you lost a mortar launcher in an earlier session.
Yeah, that's true. This information I will take on board.
What?
And I thank you for it.
Excellent. So, are you going to go and rejoin the group?
I am.
Yeah, so
I
you-
will hobble after them.
Okay.
Oh, my leg, sorry, it takes me a while to
sometimes
catch up.
Takes
There
me
we
down
go.
different corridors.
Yes, I'm not paying attention, I seem to drift one way.
Look up and you're
I would
in the
walk in circles.
Where were you?
Oh,
Walter kind of looking towards you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the architecture, it catches one's eye.
Oh, it does. I'm glad that you two are a man of culture. Well, I'd best be off. I must continue to work. All the best to you, and stay away from the hoods and gun. He turns and he leaves.
How do we get to
driver probably
Yeah, sure,
knows
sure,
of some
sure.
place. Also, we go to the red light district and they will tell us. I'm trying to make eye contact with the kid holding my coat.
Yep. He's taken
And
the
then
opportunity to like sit down for a long time, and he will start and hurry over
I'll
and
let-
hand out. Sorry. Thank you. And he goes to put it on your head. He's, excellent. I hope that was good. He doesn't really know what to do next. He's hoping you probably guess that he wants a tip, but you have no way
I
to
didn't
give him.
earn my thousands by giving away money, did I?
Fair enough. So you turn on your smartly dressed heel.
Oh no, I give him a
No.
very small
How much
tip.
was
didn't
my
I?
He takes it
my
and kind
credit?
of. Thank you very much. And he turns
course.
and walks away.
Back to work now.
Yes, and he heads back.
And I was an athlete, and I worked in film. I have a business card. I can give it to you. You work there as well. And I almost went to the Olympics.
Does it still exist?
Do you have that on your business card?
Yep.
I
Almost Olympian.
No, it'd be
Yeah, in
like.
very fine print. It says almost. It's got an
it
asterisk.
says like Olympia.
Olympiad in training.
No. But you trained.
Yeah.
So you're an Olympian.
Is that the rule? I think you have
What's
to.
the
Do you have to
cutoff?
compete?
How close?
I think
do
I
you have to
trained.
get
I think I was
to-
like I didn't make it to the Olympics, but I was a potential.
You could say like.
I don't tell people I tell people I almost went because also it gives the suggestion as if maybe I didn't want to go at the end and I decided it wasn't worth
Oh, I
it.
had other engagements.
Well, the war for one.
So,
You are fast Olympish.
What does that mean?
Almost Olympish.
Oh my.
Also, I just like that it's Olympish is the word.
Olympish.
I'm Olympish. I'm an Olympian. I'm Olympish.
All right.
All right,
So-
let's
To summarize what we just learned, so we could go to the Hunde Gustav.
yeah.
We could go find Balthazar,
Yeah.
or we could see if we can find any more about the Borberites.
Yep.
The Borberites.
Yeah,
Wow.
What is that?
other leads are you could try and track down Henri.
Yeah.
You could try
Henri.
and track down Alvin Grau.
I have a phone number for the telephone girl place.
What was
Get an
it?
address out of that.
What was the number?
You would have reversed engineered.
6.
You. Again,
Still funny.
It's still funny. You
It's
would.
almost 1930. That doesn't make any sense.
Oh shit! At
least-
I was reading like in 1918 they released like the Ritz had a telephone in every room of their hotel.
Yeah, right.
Like they're around.
Not in this canon.
So you can also try to track down the telephone girl. You would have been able to reverse engineer
with the phone
an
book.
address. Yes.
Going to the Borberites or whatever seems like they're likely to be, if we can find them, which is difficult, they may attack us, and if they are making concoctions and things, which is possibly what affected you, then following the trail to Balthazar, and then to the Cabaret Club probably will get us there. I propose that.
At the same time, we can find exactly where this door came from. We go to this telephone girl.
Wait, didn't the girl say find? Wait, did she say to find Walter
Walter.
Andre?
Said Walter
in-
Andre is a good man to know, and then look in the Hundenstaff.
Okay, so she didn't say find Walter in the hood.
No, they are separate sentences.
Okay.
We're halfway there. Been quite profitable so far.
I agree.
I think we should go to the doll maker first. After all, we have a physical one. We can show it to them. If we go to the Hunderstaff, we don't really know why we're going there.
Well, we were told to look there, and also the woman that I chased the other night was heading towards the red light district. Probably she is there.
Is that? Can we say where I found this address?
Yes,
That
you
phone
would
book?
have absolutely
Is that-
found the.
That's where it is.
Well, maybe if
The address. It
You
is.
can
It
see
is,
well, that's
it
where
is the
she was
name of
going.
it's a small bar in the red light district.
maybe
Not the
if
Hundenstaff.
Balthazar is associated with the Hunde Gustav, we could ask him about that before we go. We never know. He could be.
Also, yeah, he might be saying that recently one of my creations has gone rogue and is killing people. Do not go where they say. It would be
That
good to know
too.
before rather than after.
That would be really convenient if that's exactly what.
Calling it.
Well, I think we should all get into this nice car
Nice.
without
Got
a
dents
roof
and
for some reason.
cracked windshield.
God.
You can take the
Why
bus.
is the windshield cracked? Where did the windshield crack?
Got hit by a frickin' tree. Stupid
During the
storm.
wind.
Great, look, now the weather is turning against me and my money. Bullshit.
Okay, what's
Ochsenscheiße.
coming to? What?
I don't know. I just decided that was the German translation.
So, you're heading to the red light district?
No, we're going to
We're going to go to
Balthazar.
the Jewish district.
Excellent. All right. So,
I
you
see.
are heading toward. You basically are going to have to track down this place, but it is not too difficult. You begin to drive and you head towards the Jewish quarter of Berlin.
I might be so bold as to have a conversation on the way there.
Please go right ahead.
Awfully thought of you.
What is it you'd like to discuss?
Oh,
I'll take the minutes.
I didn't say I would like to have a conversation. On
No, you have
our
the
next
floor.
destination.
I call a meeting in this car.
Present.
Present.
I'm an apology.
This is beyond.
Who arranged
I'm
that?
You
busy.
say I'm an apology. You open the door.
No, I'm
Gets on your bike and
I'm busy looking out the window.
Oh,
I
okay.
never get to do that when I'm riding my bike.
it's all window.
Thing is, I had to check something at the museum. We have all been carrying on with our lives in the last 2 years, correct? Even though we don't know exactly what we've been doing,
Yes.
we have been doing it. And as I said, my situation is somewhat complicated by the fact that this form you see in front of you is not the one you first came to know. And once again, as far as I can tell, you cannot you cannot trust me any less than I trust myself. Yet this new apartment I found myself in, several plans, diagrams of a concerning nature, made by my own hand.
What kind of plans?
I cannot say exactly. It seems I had obscured it from prying eyes, but they were of an engineering and artillery nature. I was planning some act of destruction on a larger scale, as I did in the war. And assuming you do not trust me any less than I trust myself, I can only assume I had good intentions and
Good intentions?
good reasons for doing so.
But what possible reasons could you have to destroy buildings and things? During my time, I pursued what my own goals were. So surely these were things that you had already thought of or were wanting to do. Do you have any lingering...
As a fact, also, when we were in the other world, I had a semblance of control over my mirror self. And I would have impressed onto it to do the right thing.
To do the right thing.
Yeah.
Which would be blowing up a building?
I must have faith that that is the case.
Or where were you looking to cause such destruction?
Again, the plans were
Did you
too
find
obscured.
something?
When we were in the museum just now, I assumed if that gate is related to the dome, the other place. I assume it does not portend well. So I checked the storeroom, the museum. I checked where I would expect to find myself planting such devices, and there was one there. That is all the information I have to share right now.
So there is an explosive device in the museum.
Inside
Yes.
The museum.
Unactivated for now.
Until some idiot stumbles upon it and blows themselves up along with all the things inside.
No, I would have planned for that, I'm sure. As you can see, I am now more cautious than not around explosive.
How can you be confident that no one will be hurt? Surely we should turn back and we should make sure that it is taken away.
No! The plans are there for a good reason, I trust that.
How can it be a good reason if it's going to hurt people?
You'll have to hurt some people to save more often than not.
So you believe that the reason why the explosives were planted there was important, and you are confident that no one will stumble upon them. How did you find them? Where were they hidden? Were they hidden well?
Yes,
So to give you some more context,
Yes.
it would have been hidden. It would have been a large sort of essentially area where a bunch of construction equipment was kept, and that people would go to occasionally. So it was sort of a corner of the construction site, hidden away behind a bunch of construction equipment. To stumble upon them, you would have to actively be looking
Like
and like
rifling
searching,
through, yeah.
rifling through stuff, and probably like squeezing behind large piles of equipment and going through things. There's no reason that anyone would go there.
extremely well hidden. The only reason I found them is because I put them there.
So you think if it's the right thing to do, then maybe at some point we'll need to, destroy the exhibit?
That gate indeed came from another world, and indeed if Moon Goddess is coming, it would be necessary.
They are understaffed there for the moment. They do not have the people to be doing thorough sweeps, and the construction progress is lingering. It will take them some time before they would come across it, and hopefully we can resolve things. And if we do not need it, we can have the weapon spirited away before that time. I would propose we give it 2 days.
We have to come back.
If we don't need it, we head back in and we make sure that it is disarmed.
Fine, I can see the need to disarm that one.
Maybe that we do not need it, or if we do, then it is in the right position. That sounds...
Well, why don't we wait until the exhibit opens, which was...
We don't, they were very vague on giving us a time frame.
He didn't say
Yeah,
exactly.
no, he made it sound like it was going to be months.
Could he make, could he make an engineering test
To do
to
what?
tell how close they are to being done with construction?
Yes, do you have engineering?
I
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
Please
shitload
make
of
an
it.
engineering test.
Absolutely.
I have engineering.
Ooh,
Do you?
really?
No, I mean, like,
Yes, as in
Oh,
real.
right, yeah, sorry.
It doesn't count unless it's
it's not
written
as
down.
cool as people think it is.
60? Oh, 68. Nah, I'm not going to like that.
But you, as a trained engineer, you would know it's going to be it's a longer question. It's
Yeah,
not
you
like
gotta
the data.
see what-
Just dismantling the
Yeah.
scaffolding would take several
Yeah,
days.
yeah.
Right.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Okay, well, I propose a few days, and then we reassess. Do you think that there are more of these?
How much did you plan?
The walls were covered in diagrams. Couldn't fully unravel.
But you made them. Surely you can read them. Your other self can't be more capable than you are.
I did my best. I gleaned what I could.
Did you destroy these plans?
Quest to understand them? Yes, I believe they are now lost to us.
We are aware of it. We can manage it.
This is information I am giving you with the strictest confidence.
I know.
And then they'll lean over to the driver. And you too.
He would never
No,
tell.
he's turned the radio up.
There's no radio in the car, but he's going.
The wind is also, we're in an open thing, we're yelling this.
That's
And people going past, what?
I made explosives in the music.
You would be able to subtly have a conversation. You pick on the best.
Hands-on.
Big stuff.
This is information I am trusting you with because I think it is safer that you know it than you don't. At least we can agree on that.
Yeah.
Or you're only telling us this because us finding out ourselves would have been worse. Suspicious.
Yeah. Would have been worse.
Yeah, it's...
Oh, I am glad I told you. Thank you for putting my mind at ease.
Wait, are you sitting in the front or are you like what's the configuration?
I'm
front. You're both in the back seat.
Okay,
turning around.
I am squinting at you.
Good. I'm squinted at.
And I considered a conversation, and I shift around and look ahead.
All right. The car continues along, gradually heading deeper and deeper, specifically towards Rossenthalerstraff, which is so the area that you are going into is called the Barn Quarter specifically, and it is an area that houses a large criminal population, and also it is there's a large Jewish population there. The two are not associated necessarily. This just tends to be this is the area that the Jewish Quarter has set up. Rossenthalerstrasse is like a very sort of busy area. It's filled mostly with Eastern European Jews. As you begin to drive, the car has to slow down, and you looping through. Even with the heavy wind, it's still kind of busy, but everyone's, this is usually a bustling place, and it's a little thin. Also, it's getting towards night, and even with the heavy wind, a fog is starting to rise. A gross-smelling fog that smells vaguely like the pus that you
what the hell?
you remember. And it's just sort of, you can just taste it in the air. And everyone is kind of going around. As you walk, you hear smatterings of Yiddish go by as so people stroll. Your driver gets out and begins to sort of speak to people bit by bit, and he's trying to track down exactly where Balthazar's is. Takes probably about 10 or 15 minutes, but eventually you're pointed down a dark alley at the side of the square, and as you come, the car sort of pulls right up next to it, and it's a little foreboding, but there's four of you, and your driver will sort of walk you down, say wait here, and then head down the alley, and then come back after a bit and says, yes, there's a small shop just about halfway down the alley on the right. Would you like me to wait with the car, sir?
Yeah.
All right, he gets in, he shuts the door, and he sits and begins to...
Just occurs to me, should we give this guy a name at some point?
Can it be
Driver, I told you they get names when they prove themselves more useful. No, I will refer to them by their role. Also, then if he is replaced, Does
You
not
don't have to learn a
confuse
new
things,
one.
no.
That's fair. That's fair. People die a lot right now.
Or they
What's the
retire.
driver's name?
The driver has
No,
a rich
no,
and storied
no,
history, but
no.
unfortunately, your character just doesn't know.
If he socializes, he can't build those hours. That's his time.
Yeah.
And I track him. Technically, while he's sitting in the car,
Telling someone your name.
while he's sitting in the car, I don't count this as
you-
hours work.
can you
This is
make it-
personal time. He can read the paper.
Can you make an appraise skill?
Yeah. Success. Exactly.
He's probably about 200 build hours short of a name.
I mean, keep track of those. When he gets close, he can have one. Just like Butler and
Oh,
Gardner.
his name was Gerard. Wait, that's a
No,
different.
that was
that's
your one.
different, That's a
Mine
different,
didn't get a name.
that's a different dimension. Never mind.
Gerard Concierge was the name of your
Right.
previous.
God.
Anyway, continuing on. The three of you head down the alley.
Yep.
You're aware that this area has some criminals in it, so you're kind of a little nervous, but there
I've
does
got a
not.
sword.
Yeah, I mean, you're armed, and there does not appear to be anyone. You're incredibly sort of flamboyant and a character in yourself. No one's going to trifle with you, and you're about 8 foot tall. So you get down about halfway, and you can see the sort of pinched together, very kind of Ollivanders style, like a small shop. Just sort of in an alleyway. All the windows are grimy and dirty, and you can hardly see inside. There's no sign that says Balthazar's or anything like that, but you can see at the top the symbol in Hebrew. Is put
it is.
there.
It is
Yes,
the symbol.
It is
Alright.
that same symbol.
Yeah, what is this? Diagon Alley or Nocturne? I did Google it. I couldn't remember the name of it.
Nocturnal.
It's the evil Diagon Alley.
That's right. Yeah,
Remember they go down and there's like evil Diagon Alley. There's people like, do you want fingers for sale?
Because he says Dagon Alley or something. Anyway, yeah.
And he gets taken into a
Nocturne
shop.
Alley. That's it. That's very cool. Yeah. I do remember.
Anyway, we're at a doll shop.
You can
Is
see
it is it open? Is there any sign of people inside? Are there lights?
You step towards it. There's no lights inside. It looks closed. It's also very out of the way. But as you get really close, you realize the door is actually very slightly open.
Okay.
Like
let's-
actually just not shut. No one has shut the door.
we gently push it open.
It squeaks open, and you can see. You step inside. The light is fading, and there do not appear to be electric lights in this shop.
Oh.
Your driver probably has like a flashlight in the
Can
boot
we
of the
go
car.
get one of those?
Well, it's sure as
Can
hell
you
not
run
his, it's
back?
mine.
Yes.
So I'll go get it.
Yeah,
You run back.
You go, you collect the flashlight.
Are you reading anything? What's the car?
He's popped the hood and he's working by making sure that everything is.
Does count.
Yeah.
I'll allow it. I'll come back with the torch.
You stroll back with the torch and you arrive and you turn it on. You look inside. All of you step in. It appears to be. It's a very small shop. You can see like a central room, and there's a staircase that leads up at the back, and also a side door that probably leads to a basement. It's just perfectly creepy. Your flashlight beam illuminates like hundreds of dolls. And there is dust everywhere, and there's just the faces of all these porcelain dolls staring down at you from the
or
walls.
small.
All kinds. Some like that. Some like that. Towards the
life-size
side, there's 2 life-size ones sitting at the side. In very pretty dresses. They're sitting there.
Thanks, I hate it.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Can I-
Also, a bookshelf appears to have fallen, and there is a bunch of broken dolls on the ground that have fallen out.
It's not unreasonable for me
Wait.
to be suspicious. I'm pulling my sword out. Just
Can
so
I'm gonna. Hello, is anyone here?
You yell out hello. There is no answer. You pull out your sword, and the ringing sound of steel. Have any of you seen Klaus draw before?
Maybe.
You ever seen the sunrise?
Yeah, he sort of settles into
You ever seen?
a battling position. You're reminded of a sunrise, and then
And a rainbow and a
Wait,
river.
why am I reminded of a sunrise?
Because it's beautiful. It's impressive. There's nothing to fault.
How
in it.
high is your appearance?
28.
Yeah, impressed.
All right. So
I'm ugly.
you sort of step inside, and as you step in, the door goes right to adjacent to shut behind you. It appears that it's weighted in some way, but not enough to shut the door, just to keep it.
The wind as well.
Yeah, the wind is not sending it like that. It's heavy enough that it
Okay.
just stays like that.
I'm just gonna grab one of the dolls and confirm that on the back of the neck.
Yep, the symbol is there.
Should we break one?
Check the ones that are already
Darn.
broken.
Oh yeah, the ones
Yeah.
that are broken, are they leaking any weird shit?
No, nothing's leaking.
No, I would subtly grab one and break it.
You
I'd
Gra-
have to-
you-
The smallest, most inconspicuous one.
Okay.
One,
Ooh.
one off the shelf.
Can I make an
anyway.
appraise check for one that is cheap?
absolutely.
Fail.
All right, you go. You the cheapest
That
one,
one.
is of a man who looks somewhat like you, a small like doll of like a man in a suit.
Break that one, break
and
that
you
one.
refuse to accept that is cheap. So you pass over that and you grab the next one, which is of sort of a portly baker, and he's got like a little
Smash
trainer,
it.
and yeah, it just breaks. It's portal.
But no.
There's nothing. So there's nothing inside.
Wait, you smashed it?
Yeah, I don't think so.
The two life-sized ones are sitting towards the side.
So there's like stairs leading up somewhere.
There is at the back of the room. There is a staircase that leads up and a staircase that leads down into towards a basement.
Right. Which
Man.
one do you reckon would be more likely to have a dead guy in it?
Attic or basement?
I vote attic.
Attic.
I vote attic.
I want to go, yes, we should go to the attic. And I suddenly whirl around on my feet, stomp down as loud as I can, and swing my sword towards the two life-size ones, see if I can
Okay.
make them flinch.
Make an intimidate test.
Yeah, success.
They are completely
Balls in
You
your
did
court,
interrupt the
Jamie.
scene
Two
to
of
start
you.
a sentence with, and the two life-size dolls
Yeah, I
are
did.
sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah. The two of you are more
look a little bit
scared by
insane.
by
I
Klaus's
think it looks a
outburst.
little silly if they don't respond.
Yeah.
Would you like us to turn them away from you or something?
No, I was only making sure that they weren't going to do something. I am
I don't think they're going to do anything.
famous last words. I'm quoting you on that.
I think we should head upstairs before someone destroys
My car. Let's go
more
up.
of this old man's shop.
Was that directed at me?
Both of you, didn't you also break a doll?
I was said I
gotta
was
jump
going
on.
to,
Yeah.
Alright.
and then he just did it.
Don't touch any more of the merchandise. The guy didn't give any indication that Walter was dead. Not Walter, Balthazar.
Balthazar.
Let's head
Yeah,
upstairs.
sure.
Maybe
Yeah.
he's just in the bath. We're breaking his stuff.
Alright. That baker one was.
Could happen.
Yeah. Okay. Alright.
You squeeze up, and it's quite tight. This is really a tiny place, and one by one manage to get up this small set of stairs that spirals into a larger room. You leave the door to the basement untended, and you can see it there. Circumvent it and head up. The top floor of the building is basically a very small living quarter. There is there is a room which basically has a bed and a wardrobe in it, and a small dresser with some stuff on it, and that's about it. Like small photos and trinkets and bits of cloth and such. The wardrobe has about 3 outfits in it, and they're very heavy, kind of traditional Eastern European garb. There's a small bathroom with a kitchenette. On 2 doors that head into that, and you can see them both sitting there completely blandly. This is a really tight, cramped area. There is room for very little.
For one person, not a partner.
No, not a partner. This would be just for one person. And can I
Or
ask
2
you-
dolls.
Yeah, or $2. Can I ask who has the highest listen score?
That might be me.
Definitely, yeah.
Make a listen
No,
score.
30.
My listen is 35.
30.
Mine's base.
What's
I think it's
yours?
you.
No, 30.
Oh,
Mine's
I thought I had high
higher.
listen. I don't know.
I've had a person. I think you had.
So do I do it?
Yeah, make a listen test.
Very nice.
Boy, I
Very
rolled a
nice.
9.
There is a whistling noise coming from somewhere in the room.
I lock that down to a 6.
Yeah, I'll tell you where the whistling noise comes from. If you
I'm
lock it
gonna
down to
do
a success
that.
rate.
Minus 2 luck, thank you.
That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, nice.
Right in the hallway, where there would be a third door, if there was sort of like there's the kitchenette, the bathroom, there would be a third.
Yeah.
There is a single piece of art that is hung, and it is of it's some kind of it appears to be a symbol of some sort, a Hebrew symbol. And as you step close to it, you can see there's like fraying wallpaper, and you can actually see a faint seam, and you realize that this is a false door, and you can hear a whistling come through.
Can I,
There is
like-
a draft going through from the open window, which is hitting and sneaking in. The whistling noise.
Can we try and open the door? Is it clear what we should do?
You kind of reach a make a spot hidden test, or
Smithing?
if you get annoyed, you can make a strength test.
Oh!
Success.
Success 3.
Oh,
Nice.
easy. You reach forward and it's pretty, you begin to feel along the frame and then you step back and you reach and you touch part of the frame of the painting and it opens up and slides away. And immediately the wind from outside, which is still sort of whipping through the room, the bed sheet. The bed sheets were so heavy and there was barely anything in here to blow around. But as soon as this new door opens, it reveals the largest room that you have seen apart from the downstairs area, sort of a long hall-like room with desks all along it and workstations, jars of sort of strange substance, papers everywhere, a second window, a tiny little circular one with a telescope set up towards it, and lying on one of the tables in the middle of the room is the body of a very, very old man. Papers are blowing wildly around, and most of the papers are stuck to his body,
Oh, no.
which is just riddled with blood. And they're sort of glued over, and he's lying on the ground, and there's great pools of blood at the table, and you can see he appears to have slashed his wrists, and there is a knife lying on the ground. You two have seen war. You've all seen
We've
war.
all seen one.
Yeah, no, I've
Still.
seen some, yeah.
I think that.
Sorry, this is my reaction. I don't know about Percy.
Yeah, I think your characters have seen enough that this is not something that would prompt
Unnerved,
sanity.
but not
You're
sanity.
Yes,
Ugh.
I agree.
Good.
So this like based on how old the dude is probably Balthazar.
Yes, this looks like it. It is a very old man. He's wearing Eastern European garb. He would have been wearing a kippa or some other ceremonial headdress, but it has fallen off his head.
But how recent is this?
The blood
They're not
is.
doctors.
I mean, you can
You're right.
approach it.
I'm not gonna. I
What
want to
kind of-
run to the. There's a window that's open or something, right? That's
The window is behind you that is open. It was open in the house. It was just the house's upstairs window.
Could I do some kind of test to see if I can
whistling
tell how?
in.
Yeah, it was blowing wind in and whistling through the door, and you could hear it just sort of echo.
What kind of test would be just to check approximately how long ago?
First aid?
I mean,
Yeah,
if
that's
he's
You
not,
could do a first aid or first aid or a hard spot hidden.
May I be so bold as to try first aid?
yeah, you do first aid. It's better than my spot hidden anyway. I mean, if he's like not decomposing actively, it can't be more than a few days.
Yeah.
Nice.
Success on first aid. Real
What is-
success.
Okay, excellent.
Unless you want to sell me a success 2 for 6 points.
Sell you on a success too.
Yeah.
You can go either way. Something different will happen if you get a success too, but it both you
Find the bombs you
you'll
planted under
function,
him.
No.
you'll functionally get the same information.
You have failed to
There's
sell
bombs
me.
I
inside
failed
the
to sell
corpse.
you.
Yeah.
It's okay.
You'll
You're
never
close.
make it in this town.
And it's a pretty grim sight. You're sort of lying there, gazing, glassy-eyed, and you lean forward and you put your head in his chest, and he goes, and begins to wheeze. He is still alive.
What
he
a
does not
twist.
attack you or anything.
Stab him.
But you jump back, and kind of everyone yells. What are you all doing?
I was looking
Screaming?
around to see if there's anything else in the
Sorry,
room.
Yeah. You jump. You like stagger backwards. You
Yeah.
almost fall. You land against the
Jesus.
the desk behind you. And he kind of and he starts wailing in Yiddish. It is similar enough to German that you get
German roll.
Yeah, everyone make a German roll.
I don't know what my German is.
Success. It's equal to your education.
Not for you because
Oh, no,
you are
yours will be
Swedish.
different.
You'll have a German.
What,
skill
have you put
somewhere.
no points into
I
German?
don't have any.
Okay,
They
roll.
don't speak German.
There we go.
This whole
You've
time.
been
It's been-
sign language the whole way. That is okay. We'll reconcile that at the end of the session. Make an education test for me.
My edu is 70, so
Yeah.
could we just
Yeah,
bump
roll,
it down by
roll.
like
Yeah, exactly.
15 or something? Or
Yeah,
like...
roll your education.
Yeah, okay. I passed.
Success
okay.
2.
Success 2. He's doing a lot of sort of odd words in there that you don't recognize, but the part that you are getting over and over again is something along the lines of "Let me die, let me die."
Jeez.
Oh
no.
my gosh, okay.
I would be disregarding that and looking for something I can use as a bandage.
You
Oh, did I get a sense
you
of...
succeeded in your first aid
Yeah, I
test.
was going to
Actually,
say, when did this happen?
It appears that he slashed his wrists.
He botched it.
So and he botched it. And literally the papers blowing around the room have like acted as bandages. They're congealed in the blood that is across his body, and it has been long enough that he has sort of come to in and out of consciousness several times, but has not moved and has been lying there. As you look him over, he's old, he is frail, but he's not going to die. He's okay. The best thing for him would be get a blanket, get him some food.
Bandage his wrists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're kind of actually congealed at this stage. But you'd have
I'm
to
gonna do
rebandage.
it for real.
Let's.
Yeah.
And quick, tear off your shirt.
You
I'll tear some
tear
strips
a
out of my
large
shirt.
strip and you begin to bandage.
I'm
and,
surprised you did that.
Well, now in my mind we're even for the doll I smashed.
Of course.
Good call.
I manage him.
You begin to work on him. Are the two of you doing anything, or just staying nearby and helping for a couple of minutes?
I lean over to him. If I ask him anything, I am going to be forceful. It's my nature. If you want to be nicer to the man, I would suggest you.
Are you speaking out loud?
Yeah.
All right.
That was in harsh
My
homicide, but yes,
German
out
is
loud.
not very good. It should be this one. You speak to him.
Okay.
Ask him why he wanted to die. Anything.
Do you want to ask him why you're treating him, or do you wait till you got him like a blanket and then like some water?
Yeah, I'd tell him to just relax and get him some blanket, get him some water.
Oh, I'm gonna
get
at
some
least go.
food.
Is there anyone else here? Any intruders?
And he responds in German.
Okay. Can I do a sweep? Can that be what I'm doing?
You got
Of
into the
this?
basement?
No.
Okay.
This level and the one below, though.
Sure. You do a sweep. Yeah, it does appear to be empty. You check the rest of it.
Sweep?
The door is exactly as it was. Nothing particularly new there. You help him to his bed and you sit him down. He has a small kettle and you get sort of make some weak tea for him, and he manages to kind of take a couple of sips and is leaning forward. He mutters to himself sadly in Yiddish once or twice. They're prayers of some sort. You assume, but he looks up and he does appear to be coherent, and he can talk, and as you're looking, he said, I'm sorry I to have put you in this position. I thought that I hoped that I would die. I was overtaken by despair.
Can you tell us why?
I'm afraid I've done something terrible. I have forsaken God. I have participated in dark magic that I never should have, and I now I do not know what I fear that I have doomed everyone.
What was it to do with the dolls? We
My dolls, yes, my golems. You have found my golems.
Yes, we met one.
One.
She came to us.
She came to you.
Yes, she would seem to want to help us.
Poor thing, she has found the truth. Most they do not know. They do not realize what they are.
What are they?
They are animated dolls, vessels. I was working with. I was promised money. I was promised that I was doing good things, and I was promised that my work would last. And I felt compelled that I had to assist. I worked with the Frenchman, the dancer. He was here, and another man. He gives a vague description which seems similar to Grau.
The Frenchman, could he have mistook Henri for French?
Yes, he could have you based that on the name. Yes,
Yeah.
he would have guessed as French.
Okay.
And he said, and then another man as well, a very old man, and we were trying to. It took a long time. It took years. I made hundreds of the dolls, hundreds of them, based on many people, and we sent them out through Berlin, and I did not do much. I did not know. All I did was build the dolls, but I know that they were sent throughout the city to bars and cabarets and to work as prostitutes, and they would suck life, vitae, the essence from those they came in contact with, and it would accumulate within them, and then we could use that. With enough of that, we could enact a ritual and bring a god to Berlin. And we did, and it was horrible. And he starts to sort of sob slightly to himself.
Any harm you have done can only be undone. Still live.
I cannot do anything. I cannot undo what I have done. I am old, I am frail, and you did not see her when she strode out into the streets. the Frenchman and and he describes Grau again. They fell to their knees. They began to worship her. They were mad the second that she arrived, and I was too. They ran out screaming, and I went upstairs and I took the knife and gestures towards the bloodstains still in the other room.
Is the goddess of the moon you describe?
That is what some called her, yes.
You hang on. So I understand. You fashioned a doll.
We made dolls and we sent them out, and we had them collect essence for many, many years.
All right. So hang on. So the thing. Sorry.
Then we built one great doll.
Right. Okay.
A beautiful one. I spent my greatest masterpiece. And we imbued it with essence, we imbued it with magic, and we imbued it with the spirits of a sacrifice. A woman who had died, an actress. I do not know.
Was she here, the actress?
She never came.
She didn't know about
What?
this.
Just hang on, just quickly. Do you think your character remembers what the doll lady looked like? Probably.
Yeah.
What did she look like? What was her hair, her features?
Otherworldly. If you had seen her, you would know.
Yeah.
I didn't.
We were aided by another of his
A different one, or
creations.
what? Okay.
One who realized what was happening.
Is there any way you can think that we'd be able to find them?
Those? He points sort of out the window where the wind. Follow the source of the wind, of the fog. It will only be days now. A week at best. The culling of the young will come, and then worse. Owls will roam the streets, rats, and then people will go mad. Their heads will change to that of dogs. They will fornicate in the streets, and they will murder each other in the city and the world.
Can we try and like calm him?
Yeah, you sort of put a hand down. You manage to calm him down somewhat.
Why this goddess specifically?
This was Grau, the Frenchman who made you do this?
No, names were not shared easily, but the Frenchman, yes, and Grau is the other man. Then, yes, they were there, but they were just disciples of the older man.
Another one.
Yes, a Berliner. I know him. He runs a bookstore. The city.
We would describe to
Gregor.
him Gregor, yeah.
Sounds like the man. Fucker.
Greg, what was his last name?
I can't remember.
He went by Mr. Grauer
When he wrote his
when he
book.
wrote his books, yeah.
The specifics mean very little now. We if there is action to be done, and it sounds as though there is, then we must move. You said follow the storm. It moves erratically. Where is it?
I don't know. The whore of Babylon, she will have found a place to sit, throne. She will call people there. She will make it her court, and from there she will rule the end of the world.
I presume this is referring to Hundingsstaff, which is in the thing. Look, I do not think that. I think this man has. Leave him. He's given us what he can, and
Not be Hundenstaff. It's too close. It's just down the road. But she would, if you walk out of my shop, you and leave and walk towards Berlin, you will pass Hundenstaff. Perhaps she did something there. Perhaps there you can find where she went. But otherwise, she will find a place of grandeur. She will find a place of vice. Something that suits where she would be. A brothel or a palace or I do not know.
what any of those?
What
I mean,
about like the museum exhibit? I mean, it's got a bunch of her stuff.
listen, I mean, as a Berliner, I'm like, aha! The mega temple.
You can make
Wait,
here,
where approximately was the dome in our dream?
Center.
Yeah.
I agree. That's a good
make a credit rating test with advantage.
credit rating.
Yep.
Fuck it.
Success 3.
All right. Oh, success 3. All right. Specifically, with 1 or 2, you would say based on the location of the dome,
Megadome.
it would be back somewhere in the entertainment district. Based, you think palatial, and then popping to your mind is a recent theater that opened a while ago. I will get the exact name of it for you. It is in the criminal quarter of the city, so you are actually not too far from it at this stage.
We should just take out the criminal quarter.
And it is called.
I have something for that.
It is called Grosses Schatzhaus, and it is a incredibly ornate palatial pornography.
I'll fucking do it.
And that was at the center of the dome.
That would be approximately in the same sort of area.
Now that Klaus has realized that he has to find a way to bring it up in conversations, it's not like he goes, the porn dome! So he has to try and irk it out of you guys, be like, did it somewhere open?
I would not.
Grosses! I don't know, I read it in
You
the
probably
paper.
would. Yeah, there would probably be an outcry in the paper.
Grosses, I
What?
think.
Well, you
Sure.
know, a massive ornate.
Wait,
art
is it
form.
big?
Oh yes, it is. It is a palatial. In fact, I'll tell you what.
Wait, palatial as in like it is literally the size of a palace, not like palatial in architecture, or both?
Well,
is it both?
why doesn't everybody in chat just click on this cheeky little link?
Oh, yes, please.
Uh,
To the
that's
porn
it.
dome. To the submarine!
All right, and have a look at that.
Yes, please, James.
Oh, thanks for that long euro.
Whoa!
Are you kidding me?
Whoa!
That's what they built this for?
Wait, what? And they would just like have sex on the stage? Is that what? they're
It's a movie
basically-
theater.
Oh, it's a movie theater.
It's worse.
Well, no, it is like an amphitheater as well.
I like
That's
it.
not a
massive!
stage.
Holy fuck, man!
You're making this up.
Hey, what are you and your 30,000 friends doing this weekend? Porn dome.
Well, it's not a
Where are
dome
we
to
ever-
them.
So when did this place open?
This place, I'll get the exact date
Is it
for you. but
recent?
It's relatively recent, yes.
No.
Nothing like that.
Okay.
It was originally a market,
And they turned it into what?
and then it was a circus arena.
Now it's a different kind of thing.
Yeah.
Good for them. You know what? Good for them.
Oppose inappropriate development in our suburbs.
Good Melbourne reference. deep. I think deep. Like, is it even in the
Isn't
northern
there
suburbs?
literally a sign
Yeah.
around the corner that
It
says
is. I think
Yeah, it's a
that's
southern Melbourne.
I think
yeah,
that's
it's
a
very-
deep City of Glen Ira reference. Although, no, I think I actually saw.
Now we actively campaign for immoral development in the northern.
Yeah, I
suburbs.
really want a
I've been pushing for a
skyscraper.
porn dome in Ivanhoe for years.
Been writing to my council, guys, come on.
Sending them photos
Stop
of this. Like, we have
embezzling-
markets, just rework them in the criminal quarter.
Stop embezzling funds and develop some stuff in my suburb.
All right, hell
Another
yeah.
deep Glen Ira City Council reference.
I want to go. I want to go do this. I have little time for this.
Right, okay, cool. We should probably stop by the Hungens.
It's on the way.
Yeah.
We'll nip in.
We'll just drop in and see. Have you seen like a really attractive woman, possibly a bit shiny?
Any men
The
with dogs'
opposite of
heads?
What?
Any men with dogs' heads?
Yeah, that as well.
I feel like we would.
Wait, before you leave, you must my golem, the one you found.
Mm-hmm.
Where are they?
Still working, I presume.
If they have realized the truth, then and that they've been contacting you, then they are in danger. We had the people who guarded them knew that they were different. They were a part of a cult. They were Borberets. She may be. If they find out that she is what she has done, then they will break her to pieces and leave her in a dumpster. Don't let her die.
So you were working with the Borberets, and you gave over your creations to them, knowing what they would do.
I did. I thought that when I completed her, when we brought her god to the city, it would be beautiful, but it was not. It was terrible.
And you created something. You gave it life. You let it understand everything that it did, and then you sold it into the sex industry.
Not my idea, but I did not benefit. You see, I'm not living in luxury.
No, should you?
I did this for a cause. There are things more important than money, you know.
Can you give us any indication where she might be?
Fuck this guy.
What kind of district? We know there's a red light district, right? It's not the only one.
It was the one that talked to you. It's most likely the one that you had the phone number for.
Right, okay.
So many of them, especially the early ones, their skin was still porcelain, so they worked on telephones. Perhaps you'll find them there.
Do you think it's the case that these creations now be used outside? Can we use them to undo what has been done?
I have no control over them. They're just people, and fragile people at that, and to make new ones takes months. No, they're a tragedy.
Fuck this guy.
You're seeking to undo what he has done.
It is too late. He has spent years doing this. This is not a recent thing. He has only really... All he has seen is the ramifications of his actions. He has realized that what he has done will not benefit him, and now he is sad.
He's stagged.
Fuck this guy.
And yeah,
Put in a shot with him in it.
We don't have to help him, but he's given us valuable information. What are you planning on doing?
We should go.
Can't house this person.
We should leave him here. Let him atone for his sins in whatever way he sees fit.
Do you still make these things?
I still have my tools, but I have not made one up. I don't know if I ever can again.
What tools?
Make dolls. All my tools. Shop.
Have anywhere else to go?
Stay here. I must. There is still this. Then he points down. This is where we did the ritual. In the basement. I will clean that out. I will banish all of this. I will. As if it never happened.
Can I get a beat on? He seems genuine, right? I just want.
Well, genuine in what way?
Like he's
Genuinely
not
remorseful? Genuinely afraid?
Yeah, like genuinely remorseful.
Too fucking late.
Yeah, I won't make you roll a psychology for that. Yeah, he looks like he's remorseful, but you know, people who do terrible things are often remorseful. Yes.
I don't think he's at risk of reoffending, if we can even call it that.
He's well past reoffending. It is still the first offense that is the problem. We are wasting time with him.
I think we should go.
I want my shirt back.
He'll,
You have others.
Don't give it to me.
You have others.
No, I will not help this man. Give it to me.
No, just I'll give you my shirt.
Give it to me. I'm gonna take it off him.
Alright. He's moving. You grab it. So Klaus steps forward and grabs at the bandages. You're sort of next to. You're both next to him.
Wait, why would you want your shirt back? It's like in pieces.
Covered in blood.
He's furious at this man.
dude.
It's more of a gesture of rage.
I'll get up in your face and I'll
Do
stop
I
you from doing
have
that.
Get out of my way. That was mine to give and mine to take back. I will not help this man, and I will not keep him from his redemption or whatever he's seeking. Give it to me.
He's putty essentially at this point.
No, you'd keep that on. It is keeping you alive.
Wait. Do can I just have like a scarf I can give him to replace the bandage?
Yeah, it will not kill him to take these off.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
You've treated him well enough that
I'm gonna. Just go.
But he believes you that you said keeping you alive. He's just sort of a complete mess at this stage.
Can we just go? This is ridiculous.
Oh! Tear up my shirt. Tear up my shirt.
You grab you patch him up.
My sleeves.
You take these sort of bloody rags and you storm out or
Yep.
yeah. And you storm out and find
I'll be in the car.
Yeah, you head back to the car. You stay and you treat him, and he kind of wants thank you as you help him. And finally, then he kind of lies back on the bed and begins to sort of sing and mutter to himself softly. And
I would make one final request.
Yes.
I have given you your life back this day. What you can do is repay me. Yours at city standing. It seems that your creations put service. You have the strength. The next few days, we would use your services.
He stops and thinks for a time and says, I have an idea. Something. See him get up and he sort of pats for a sketch pad he has next to his bed and begins to sketch something. It's a process.
Good art. Something.
Turn back and you head down. Percy, you done anything or ask anything or grab anything before you leave?
I think we should check out the basement real quick.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. As you're going down, you get down in time to see Klaus like head out the door and sort of look and then storm back towards the car. You open the door to the basement and you head down. You can see it's a large room, quite a big basement. There are candles all around, and they've sort of gone down to the nub, and there's red wax everywhere. They've been left to burn and burnt out. In the center of the room, there is a large metal structure. And this is not what it is intended to be, but as soon as I read about the structure and what it was, the best way to describe it is a giant hollow D20. Basically, with like instead of
thought it was gonna be phallic.
with bars along the shape instead of.
So it's like
Excellent.
a cage.
It's like a D20 shaped cage, but
Yeah,
you know
okay.
you could step inside it very easily.
That's kind of weird.
Yes.
What the hell?
It's weird and specific.
Yeah, and you can see that it appears to be the centerpiece of the ritual.
He's a
Whatever
super
was
big nerd.
animated was in the middle.
Oh my god, satanic panic!
You were right. Is there anything you want to check while you're down there?
Are there any like symbols or anything aside from that?
Ooh, plenty of stuff carved into
Oh,
the
there's like
ground,
loads
yes,
of
yeah,
bullshit.
yes, yes.
Okay.
Are they Yiddish, like Hebrew symbols?
No, they would be occult symbols.
Okay.
Some probably have Yiddish roots, but yeah.
But not Nixos. Yep.
You turn and the two of you head out, stepping over the fallen bookcase and rejoining, heading out into the air and heading back to the car. The wind is picking up more and more, and as you start to get out into the street, you get back to the car. You can hear that there is now screaming and like yelling in the distance, echoing through the streets. They are completely deserted. Your driver, when you come through, like nods and he's looking a little bit nervous. And he takes a sip from a flask very quickly and puts it back and sort of mentions. Situate begins to drive, and as you go through and begin to weave through the streets of Berlin, you can see that houses have begun to be boarded up with quarantine signs put up across them, and the wind and the fog is rising. And I think we'll leave it there for tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for joining us. There is one session left of this scenario.
Oh, really?
We are going to be finishing it off next week
Hot damn.
with a grand climax. And we'll have a lot of important stuff to say about the stream then. So stay tuned, get excited. Thank you once again for joining us. Get ready for a climactic final scene. Thank you to Jackson. Thank you to Rachel. Thank you to David. And
Thank you, Jamie.
oh, thank you.
Thank you so much, Jamie. Oh my god.
Thank you all for listening. Remember, you can follow our channel. You can subscribe to it if you have a Twitch, an Amazon Prime account.
Yep.
You can subscribe for free. So remember to do that. And
Catch
we'll
up
see you
on
next
episodes
week.
on YouTube.
Yes,
as
go
well.
check out the episodes on YouTube.
This one will be live on Sunday.
Excellent. Thank you very much. See you next time.
Swear!